Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has implanted sharingan in chunin exams. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Arashi The Storm and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1, Naruto Uzumaki. The Hidden Leaf Village or Konoha was attacked by the nine-tailed demon fox or Kyubi. Many shinobis died that day to protect the next generation and their loved ones. The fox was defeated and killed by the fourth Hokage, and he died in doing so. 5 years after the attack. It has been 5 years since the Kyubi attacked. The village is recovering at a nice pace, but the loss of the fourth Hokage was too much. The third Hokage resumed his position until he could find a nice successor to choose his place. Somewhere in the market of Konoha. "Get out of my shop, you demon," yelled the shopkeeper. A 5-year boy is thrown out of the shop by the rude shopkeeper. The boy has blonde hair and baby mass. He wore a white shirt with orange swirl on it. It is shown in the original series. The blonde boy was looking at a fox mask, and for no reason the shopkeeper started yelling at him. He threw the mask at the ground and said, "You want this? Take this and leave, and don't ever come in my shop again, you filthy brat." The blonde picked up the mask and ran away with tears in his eyes. This scene is shown in the series in the later chapters. "It's that boy," one villager muttered. "What is he trying to do now?" Another muttered. "Why is allowed to roam free?" A lady asked. Yelled furiously, "He should be killed." Another lady yelled. The speed of the flowing tears began to increase. Each word hit his heart like a sharpened blade. The worst thing was he didn't know what he has done to deserve this. He has only one thought in his mind, and that was why they hated him, why they tried to ignore him. With that in mind, he ran to the Hokage tower to ask some answers for the Hokage. The third Hokage was the only one that talked to him, and he treats him properly. Hokage tower. A blonde boy rushed through the doors of the Hokage tower to the Hokage's room. He passed the receptionist and the ANBUs guarding the Hokage's room. By force he opened the door and went inside crying and faced the third Hokage for some answers. "Old man, why does everyone hate me? Why do they always call me demon? What have I ever done to them?" asked the blonde boy with tears in his eyes and pain in his heart. All that can be seen from watching his face. Everything was written on his face. The Hokage's heart twitched by watching him in that condition. A part of him wanted to tell him the truth, while a part of him wanted to keep him safe by not telling the truth. He decided the latter and spoke. "Naruto, those people do not see you for who you are. I promise you, my boy, when the time is right I will tell you everything, but until then you will have to wait," replied the old man, or rather the third Hokage. The third Hokage was very close to Naruto, and thus he did not mind the nickname given to him by his precious boy. They both were sort of like grandfather and grandchild figure to each other. "But when, I want to know now. Tell me, do I have parents? Please, just a little bit, I want to know," asked Naruto. Hearing this, the Hokage sighed, but he knew that he cannot get out of this. "Yes, Naruto, you do have parents. Your mother was an Uzumaki, and you have your mother's maiden name. Your father was a great shinobi, and to protect you your heritage is hidden. Unfortunately, they made a lot of enemies during the Third Great Ninja War, and to protect you I have to hide your heritage, because if the word gets out, then they will come after you. I will tell you everything once you become old enough to protect yourself." Naruto, listening this, become happy and cheerful, but eventually become worries and asked, "Were they good people, and how did they die, and did they love me?" "Naruto, I have already told you that before. They both died in the Kyubi attack to protect the village, to protect you and to protect their loved ones. And yes, they were good people, and they were respected throughout the village. And if you want to know more, then you have to become strong to protect yourself and your loved ones. And yes, they loved you even when you were still inside your mother. She was all about how she will teach you to walk and teach you to talk, and your dad was all about teaching you to be the best ninja of all the 5 elemental nations. Yes, they loved you more than you can imagine." Hearing this entire, he became happy once again. All the pain and sorrow was replaced by an innocent yet determined smile. "Okay, then I will become strong and make them proud. And be ready, old man, to give that hat to me, because I will become Hokage one day, believe it, and then everybody will respect me and treat like I am someone important, and I will protect all of them just like my father and mother did." The Hokage chuckled and said, "You have the will of fire in you, my boy, and it is burning with great intensity. I am proud of you, my boy, and I know you will become a strong shinobi." "Old man, what is will of fire?" asked Naruto with curiosity. The will of fire states that the entire village is like a large family unit, and every Konoha shinobi with the will of fire loves, believes, cherishes, and fights to protect the village, as previous generations had done before them. This is what gives shinobi the strength to continue fighting against all odds, building willpower and strength of character. It is also symbolic of the hopes and dreams of the previous generation being passed to the next. The Hokage further added, "You know, the Hidden Leaf Village was founded by Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha. During their last battle at the Valley of Death, Hashirama Senju won because he had will of fire in him, he had love in his heart, and Madara Uchiha was driven by vengeance, and so he lost. You see, Hatred makes a man powerful, but it also drives that man crazy. On the other hand, love makes a man both wise and powerful. Nothing good comes out of hate and revenge. They only drive the man crazy. And once your hatred or revenge is completed, then what? Then the person doesn't have a reason to exist. While love never dies, and it gives the person a reason to push hard and to exist. Okay, now I understand. The old man Hashirama was really something else, and that Madara sound cold. If I want to become strong, I would be like the first and the fourth, but I will surpass all of them, even the fourth, believe it, said the blonde with a determined look on his face. But if you want to surpass them, then you have to start working hard from now on. And why don't you want to be like the second or the third, the Hokage asked. The second Hokage seems scary, and you don't seem to me that strong, Naruto answered straightforward. After hearing this, the face of the third Hokage fell. He felt insulted, but on the same side he cannot say anything to him because he was still a child. But still, if you want to surpass all the Hokages, then you have to start working hard. Can you do this? Can you put aside everything and start working with all your will? Tell me, my boy, can you do intense training all day? Asked the Hokage. Yes, I can do it, believe it. I will be Hokage one day and I will surpass all of you, believe it, replied the blonde. Then you have to start working from tomorrow. As you know, I cannot help you directly because it will be called favorism, and being Hokage I cannot favor only one child. If I teach you and leave the rest, then it will not be fair. But I will provide you with assistance, and I will give you direction, and probably assign someone to teach you, since the other children will be taught by their parents, or by their clan. It is fair if I allot someone as a sensei to teach you. After saying this, he handed some scrolls and books to the boy and added, take these scrolls and books and read them thoroughly. Some of them are history books of Konoha, while some of them explain chakra and jutsu mechanism. By the end of the month, read all of them, then I will give some more. These things you will be learning when you enter the academy. So in simple words, you are of 2 years head start than most of the students. But some kids from clan will also be at a head start. For example, the Hyuga kids by now already know some taijutsu styles and how to mold chakra. By this point, the Hokage let the words sink into the child's mind. When Naruto was about to ask something, the old man interfered. All of your answers are given in the book. Now read them and come back next month to take new books. And bring back these to me because I have to return them. After hearing this, the blonde picked up the scrolls and books and left. 1 year later. It's been 1 year since Naruto started reading all the books given by the Hokage. He now knew all the history behind Konoha. He knew the importance of chakra and has learned the mechanism of jutsu. He learned the link between molding chakra, hand seals, and seals. He also learned politics, and all because the old man told him about the duties of the Hokage. He was now living in his own apartment, since the orphanage kicked him out. The Hokage also gave him weekly allowance for surviving, but that was not enough, so he used to do paperwork for the Hokage to earn extra money for his daily needs, all the while studying and doing nothing else. And he also started to learning Fuin Jutsu, and it attracted the boy to learn more. Although he did not do any practice, but he did read all the stuff, and with just a little practice he will be a genin in no time. During the time, he also took quite an interest in medical ninjutsu and to the sage arts that the first Hokage used, but he cannot mold chakra at that time, so he thought to leave it for later. He also started some pranks on the Hokage and some of his ANBUs, and they were really impressed about the fact that a 6-year boy can prank them and erase all evidence. One time he painted all the Hokage's cloth with orange color, and then the Hokage was forced to visit a meeting in the orange painted dress. The Hokage also made him do physical workout in the morning to build up some physical strength, and he was taking his training very seriously. He now has very less baby fat, and he grew taller too. All this time the Hokage did not teach him anything rather than giving him advice and books to read. Today was the day when the old man told him that he can start working on molding chakra. It took him quite some time, but he gets it. He was now ready to go and show the old man what he achieved. Hokage Tower. The excitement was getting his nerve. Without waiting further, he rushed in the Hokage's room and shouted, old man, I did it. I did it," and laughed with excitement, and trailed the rest of the words in the laugh. "Oh, you mean you get the hang of molding chakra? Well, that is good," said the Hokage. "Yeah, that is good, but rather unexpected. He get it within an hour. Surprising. He will be great shinobi one day," thought the Hokage. "Okay, would you like to show me, and release as much chakra as you can," he added. As instructed, the blonde boy sit in a meditative position and started molding chakra, and then started releasing as much as he can. Soon the room started shaking, the ANBUs that were hidden there came out, and they stayed wide-eyed at the act that was going on in front of their eyes. The ANBUs that were stationed out of the room also came in with the same expression, and the Hokage also had the same expression. Soon the intensity of the shake began to increase, and the roof started cracking and the windows shattered into pieces. How can a 6-year-old boy can have this much chakra? This is insane, and this is all his chakra, and if he continued training at an intense pace, then it would only rise. He already has Jonin level chakra reserves. He will surpass all the Hokages one day, the Hokage thought, and then commanded in a worried voice, "That's enough, Naruto, stop it now." I said stop. "Huh, How did I do, old man? Was it awesome? He looked around to see some shocked ANBUs and added, by the looks of the ANBUs, I think that it was awesome. I knew that I was awesome, believe it, replied the blonde. Yeah, Naruto, it was quite awesome, but don't do that again now. I think you are ready for some chakra training. As you have read all the training methods, you can start training at your usual training ground 13, and here take these academy scrolls. These contain some academy jutsu and taijutsu style. Complete everything, then come back to me later, okay? And with that he handed the scrolls to Naruto. With everything things settled, he left to hit the training ground. 6 months later. By this time Naruto had completed the leaf exercise, and in his terms he had perfected the leaf exercise. During the time he found out a fault in the leaf exercise and he made an effort to fill the gap, hence perfected the exercise. The fault was that while running the leaf exercise was useless, since the leaf exercise was focused on sitting still and then controlling chakra while running. It was another theory, so he started running while on the same side doing leaf exercise. By now he can stick a bunch of leaves on his body while on the same time running. He had already started the tree walking and now can stand on a tree for more than an hour, and like the leaf exercise he also found a fault in the tree exercise. The fault is that to perfect the tree walking one has to sit on the tree like he is sitting on the ground and then try to sleep like sleeping on the ground. He needed time to complete the remaining, but he was confident that he will be successful in doing so. He had also completed 2 of the 3 academy jutsu, and his taijutsu was also coming a fine way, but it was not his type. It was another matter he needed to talk to old man about. The second matter was that he was not able to do clone jutsu. It doesn't matter how much he tried, but he doesn't to make a single clone, and he knew that his chakra control was ridiculous. But it was coming along, but still to be not able to make a single clone, it doesn't make sense at all. But there was one thing that he was proud of. And that thing was that normal people can only make an illusion when doing transformation, but his transformation was not an illusion, it was a solid transformation which can be touched. Currently our blonde hero was passing through the Uchiha compound when he saw a raven-haired boy practicing a fire jutsu, and being a little curious, and the fact that he didn't have any friends, he decided to go and talk to him. He went close enough so that the boy would notice it, and when he did he spoke in a rude manner. Hey, who are you, and what are you doing disturbing me during my training? The blonde boy was taken by that rude manner and spoke, hey, why are you so rude? Because you are disturbing my training, the boy yelled. Fine, I am going, Naruto said, and started to leave. However, he was stopped by the Uchiha. Wait, if you want to stay, then you can stay, the boy said. He don't want to, yelled Naruto and started to leave. However, he was stopped by the Uchiha again. Sasuke realized that it was his fault, and he apologized, sorry for being rude. Now it was Naruto's turn to apologize. I am sorry too, want to be friends, he said as he held out his hand as a gesture of friendship, which the other boy took and nodded in acceptance for being friends with him. My name is Naruto, Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage of the Leaf. Believe it, he said, giving a massive grin on his face, showing his happiness of finding another friend aside the Hokage. My name is Sasuke, Sasuke Uchiha. The boy, now recognized as Sasuke, said, so, what were you doing? Asked Naruto. I was doing my clan's fireball jutsu. I want to make my dad proud. My brother learned this jutsu when he was 5 and perfected it when he was 6, and he is considered as a prodigy, and I want to be just like him. But I hardly learned the jutsu, and then let alone perfect it within this year to match my brother. It doesn't matter how hard I try, I cannot create a full fireball, replied the Uchiha. The rudeness was completely gone, and this tone was much friendlier. I can understand what you want to do, but to do that you don't have to compare yourself to your brother, replied the Uzumaki. What do you mean? Asked Sasuke. Everyone has his own limit, not everyone born is a prodigy, but still with time they become strong. This is what the old man told me, replied Naruto. But still, I want to do it, I want to make my dad proud, I want to be just like my big brother, said Sasuke. Oh, I see where you are going, I can help you with that, Naruto replied. So what do I do? Asked Sasuke. Simple, do the leaf exercise for better chakra control, replied Naruto. I already know the leaf exercise, asked Sasuke. How many leaves can you stick to your body, asked Naruto. Up to 4, what about you? Asked Sasuke. I can stick 24, replied the blonde. So, what do I do now? Asked Sasuke. Try sticking the leaves while running, replied Naruto. I can stick up to 24 leaves all around my body and can still run, replied Naruto. That's amazing. But who told you about it? Nobody in my clan told me something like this, asked Sasuke. I came up with it on my own. Unlike you, there is no one there to train me. The old man Hokage gave me books and scrolls to read, and I read everything from them. Because he is the Hokage, so he cannot train me, because if he did it will be favorism, therefore he only gave me books and the rest was all my hard work, replied Naruto. You are pretty genius for our age, but why your dad didn't teach you? Investigated the raven-haired boy. The thing is, you see, I don't have parents, I am an orphan, and the old man Hokage give me allowances for my daily needs, answered Naruto with a sad smile on his face and a little tear in his eye. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that, replied Sasuke, also feeling sad for the blonde. It's okay, you know, laughed the blonde as if nothing had happened. One more thing, why do you call the Hokage old man, and what is your relation with him? Is he your grandfather? Investigated the blonde. I have no relatives. My parents were also killed during the QB attack, and since then only old man and some ANBU have been close to me, and he doesn't mind this nickname, and I have also pranked him sometime. For the latter part of your question, yeah, we are like grandfather and grandchild, but we are not related by blood, replied the blonde. Oh nice, and to think you pranked the Hokage, you're awesome, replied Sasuke. Yeah, I know I am awesome, believe it, replied Naruto. The rest of the day went along like this, talking and knowing each other more, and Sasuke told Naruto about Itachi, his older brother, and Fugaku, his dad, who is also the clan leader. Naruto also told him about Ichiraku Ramen and IM, and about his training, and Sasuke decided to let him help in his training. 2 years later. It has been 2 years since Naruto started his training with Sasuke and Itachi, and he is learning incredibly fast. Sasuke taught Naruto how to use kunai and shuriken, and Itachi has been training them in detecting genjutsu with his sharingan. They have become very good friends, and Sasuke, with his dad's and Itachi's permission, taught him their own fighting style. Most of Naruto's time was spent with them training and playing at the park with other kids their age. Sasuke has also become a lot friendlier than his early days, and they have created some new friends. But most of the time they only train. Sasuke usually tags along Naruto whenever he goes to do a prank. In the given years they had played many pranks on many shinobi as well as civilians, and Sasuke also noticed the looks they give to Naruto, but whenever he asks anything about it, Naruto says that he also don't the answer, and that when the old man will tell him. They both have learned 4 to 5 fire jutsu, and Naruto have learned some wind jutsu because his wind and Sasuke's fire jutsu would be a good combination jutsu. They both have tested their affinity, and Naruto have wind and fire, while Sasuke have fire and lightning. Flashback. Hey Sasuke, do you know your elemental affinity? Asked the blonde. What is elemental affinity? Asked Sasuke. Elemental affinity is your natural affinity in which your chakra can easily manipulate, replied Naruto. I don't know, tell me how to check, asked Sasuke. Here, take this and channel your chakra through them. With that said, he handed Sasuke the paper and took one in his hands and channeled chakra through it. The paper first divided into 2 and then turned into ash, while Sasuke's paper crumbled and then turned into ash, and afterwards Naruto explained him all about elemental affinity and sub-elements, and the fact that it is Jonin level training. After that they decided to learn jutsus which matched their affinity. Flashback end. They have also perfect tree walking as well as water walking, and now they are able to fight while doing tree and water exercise, and to take it up the notch they train to sleep on both the surfaces, but after sometimes they fall, but they still decided that it was enough, and they both knew that they were above Genin level. Itachi also told Naruto something more about his solid transformation, that the Sharingan cannot tell the difference. During one of the training session, Itachi brought Shursui Uchiha with him, who was known for his genjutsu that not even a Sharingan can see through, and he also helped them train in their genjutsu skills. Now it was the time for them to join academy since they are already 8. The first day of the academy. Naruto had already read most politics and everything about Konoha, so he knew that if he wants to stay with Sasuke then he have to be the dead last of the class, while Sasuke has to be the rookie of the year. He entered the class and saw that Sasuke was chatting with some of his friends, and he quickly realized them. He turned to look around and remembered all of their faces and other abilities as much as he knew through studies. Most of them were from shinobi families, but some of them were also from civilian families. Kiba Inuzuka is a boy with a very feral appearance that smells and even acts like a dog. He's loud enough to give Sakura some competition and always brings a small dog with him in his coat, named Akamaru. He wears black pants and a fleece-cuffed hooded jacket. I just call him Dog Boy. The only thing that he has that is greater than his loudness is his arrogance. He's heir to the Inuzuka clan that raise dogs as nin animals and trackers. Most of their jutsus seem to revolve around the partnership with them. They also seem to possess slightly heightened senses that can be strengthened by adding chakra to their noses. Shino Aburame is of the Aburame clan, a group of ninja who formed a symbiosis with a special breed of insects known as destruction bugs. By allowing the insects to use their bodies as hives, they are known for their tracking qualities. He is a silent guy that speaks only when necessary and is very intelligent. He wears dark round sunglasses, a high-collar gray coat that covers the lower half of his face, and brown pants. His hair is spiky and unruly in appearance. Shikamaru Nara is of Nara clan, which is known for its intelligence, and he can devise complex strategies even in the heat of battle. However, his laziness frequently prevents him from effectively utilizing his intelligence. He is a guy who complains about anything and says everything is troublesome. He has long black hair that he keeps up in a pineapple-reminiscent manner. He wears a thin gray vest over a fishnet shirt and black knee-length trousers. Despite his slacker attitude, he's a fucking genius. At least that's what I can figure out from his frequent games of shogi and go he plays in class. Heir to the Nara clan, which uses shadow-based jutsus. Choji Akimichi is from the Akimichi clan, which is known for its body strength. He is typified by his affinity for food. Though his habit of always eating gives him a relatively large appearance, Choji insists he is not fat, instead using explanations like being big-boned. If someone refers to him as fat, Choji instantly becomes hostile and increases his resolve to battle. Shikamaru Nara has never found an issue with Choji's weight, instead choosing to look upon Choji's inner strength. Because of this, Choji regards him as his best friend, stating he would willingly give his life to defend Shikamaru. In battle, Choji can increase the size of his body to improve the amount of damage his strikes deal upon impact. He can also use his clan's signature calorie control, which converts his body fat to chakra. He has brown hair and swirls on his cheeks. He wears a green overcoat with matching shorts and a white shirt that says "Eat" on the front with bandages on his arms and legs. He excels in heavy striking taijutsu thanks to his family's art of increasing the size of their bodies and limbs. He hates it when people call him fat. I would avoid doing that at all costs. Hinata Hyuga is a shy girl with short indigo hair, lavender-colored eyes, and soft features. She wears a baggy coat emblazoned with the burning flame, the crest of the Hyuga, the most prestigious clan in the village and probably the country. She also wears black trousers and normal shinobi sandals. She's very shy around people and often blushes when I lock eyes with her. Otherwise, she's one of the better students in the class, great intelligence, excellent combat and survival skills, never gloats about her achievements, and is very humble. One of the more likable girls for her lack of a Sasuke obsession and the fact she always acts so nice to me. Of course she's nice to everyone, so I shouldn't take it special, but so few are nice to me it's hard not to. Though born of the Hyuga clan's main house and raised to become the successor, Hinata's shyness and inability to stand up for herself resulted in her father's strong disapproval, leaving her in the care of Kurenai Yuhi. She is from the Hyuga clan, which is widely known for its dojutsu or visual powers, that is Byakugan, and most of them are prick bastards who are mostly rude and they refer to their dojutsu as all-seeing eyes. Ino Yamanaka is a rather pretty girl with long blonde hair which she keeps in a ponytail, has blue eye, and wears a purple outfit with bandages wrapped around her legs and midsection. She has good shinobi skills, but just like almost every girl has an Uchiha Sasuke obsession. Also, she's the heir to the Yamanaka clan, which uses mostly mind-altering nin and genjutsus. She's no threat, she may be a gossiper, but she has to keep the details of her family jutsu secret, so she clearly knows how to keep important secrets. Sakura Haruno has shoulder-length pale pink hair that she keeps tied back with a red ribbon, jade-green eyes, and a red Chinese dress with a white circle on the back. She's probably the weakest kunoichi in the whole village, but is decently skilled on the basics, and very book-smart, but that's about it. She also screams like a banshee, and she's hopelessly infatuated with Sasuke. When I first met her I found her rather cute, but that died quickly after the first time I asked her to hang out or train. She screamed right in my face that I was a loser and couldn't compete with Sasuke. That ended that attraction rather quickly. Hey Sasuke, Naruto greeted. Hey Sasuke greeted in return. Morning Naruto. Shikamaru greeted. Morning guys. Naruto greeted all his friends. Morning, all of them said together. Sasuke, come here, I want to talk to you in private, said Naruto. Hearing this, Sasuke took his leave from his other friends and went to talk to his new brother and said, what's the matter? Well, when I was reading about teams, I found something interesting. You see, after we pass the graduation we will be placed in a 3-man squad under a jonin captain, and after reading that, I decided that we both should be on the same team, asked Naruto. So, what's the problem with that? We will be the best genin team of the history, replied Sasuke. Yeah, that's awesome, but you see there is a problem. Every team is managed according to their performance throughout the 4-year program, and the dead last of the year will be placed with the Rookie of the Year, and each team will have a kunoichi in it also, and to balance the teams they will be scored according to their scores. Well, unless the parents do something about it, for example Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino will be placed in one team because of the Ino Shikacho formation and they will be Rekken or backup team, while Kiba, Shino, and Hinata will be placed in one team and they will be tracker team because of Kiba's senses. Shino's insects, and Hinata's Byakugan, while we will be the attacking team, replied Naruto. So, what are you getting at? Asked Sasuke. If we want to be on the same team, then one of will have to be the dead last while the other Rookie of the Year, or if someone recommends us with sufficient reasons, but I will prefer the first part since old man won't recommend anything and I highly doubt your dad will be pleased to do so, replied Naruto. So you are saying that one of us have to be the dead last? Oh come on, you must be kidding, we are above genin level, how will we be dead last, asked the Uchiha. You will the Rookie of the Year while I will be the dead last. Naruto said this, but he noticed that Sasuke was about to argue, so he once again interfered and said, don't argue. Because I promise you that I will make your dad proud of you, and you can't do that unless you become Rookie of the Year, and there is no one that will be happy or sad about my situation. He completed his sentence with a depressed tone, but when he saw that Sasuke was about to argue again, and he knew what he was going to say, so he again spoke, and I know that you, old man and Itachi, are there for me, but you already know my strength, so there is no need to impress the three of you by becoming Rookie of the Year. And now don't argue. Okay, but one thing, how do you know that I will be the Rookie of the Year? I mean, I can handle the ninjutsu and taijutsu part, but what if someone gets good grades because of the written part, And what if someone beats me in jutsu parts? Asked the raven-haired boy. Don't worry. I will make sure that nothing happens. I will replace your answer sheet with my own. In every written exam, leave your answer sheet blank with my name on it, and I will write your name on mine, and if any day I am not here, then do your best or come to me. I will replace the answer sheet with completely new one. Okay, replied Naruto. Yeah, I guess, replied Sasuke. Their talk ended when a new voice broke everyone's concentration. Okay, class, sit down, choose your place, and sit down, saying that he noticed it didn't affect anybody, so then he shouted sit down everyone, and with that the whole class choose their seats, and sit with their partners. There was one table and 2 chairs, so everyone was sitting in group of 2 on both the sides of the row, while the middle row had 1 large table and 3 seats, so they were sitting in pair of 3. Okay, now my name is Irika and this is my assistant Mizuki, and you will call us Irika-sensei and Mizuki-sensei. Understood? With that everyone nodded. Irika continued with his speech. During your first year you will only study about things related to Konoha and something other than that, and you will also learn how to mold chakra and other basic things. Next year you will learn to use weapons like kunai and shuriken, as well as you will learn academy taijutsu and academic ninjutsu and some other stuff. Next year you will only do physical training and nothing else, and in third year you will again start learning more history, and you will also learn about elemental nations, uses of chakra and mechanism of jutsu, and some medical stuff. While learning all this you will also do physical stuff, and once in a while you will spar with each other. At the end of third year you will be given an exam, and only those who pass will be allowed to enter in fourth year, while those who fail repeat third year. Irika let these words sink into students' mind, and after a moment, he continued his speech. In fourth year you will practice everything you would have learned till then and perfect those things in which you are still behind. At the end of the fourth year you will be given your final exams, and those who pass will become full-fledged ninja, and those who fail will be sent back to third year. More information will be given later on. While everyone understood what he was talking about, the 2 boys on the corner were talking among themselves. We already know all this, so if we want to graduate we can graduate now. The Uchiha spoke. I am thinking quite the same. But let us do the 4-year, because I highly doubt that by now there will be a team left for us to be a part of, and if we are placed in third year then they will look at us like we are children, and if I have to continue my role of being dead last to be on your team, then Irika-sensei won't allow me to go to third year with you. Naruto spoke. But still, I wish to graduate now, and if I graduate now, my dad would be proud of me and I would be just like Itachi, said Sasuke. You can show everyone including Irika-sensei and your dad that you are genin level already. And if he or your dad tries to send you to third year, just say that you want to enjoy from the start, and that you want to be with your friends and all that. Don't you want to be with us? If you don't, then you are free to graduate, replied the blonde. Don't talk like that. You know you are my best friend. Why would I graduate without you? I am just staying, replied Sasuke. Before they could continue their conversation, Irika's voice stopped them to do so. Okay, let us start. Introduction, like our name, likes and dislikes, hobbies and dream for the future. Okay, and with that the introduction started. Soon it was the turn of the blonde boy. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen, spending time with my friends and training with Sasuke. I dislike arrogant people and waiting 3 minutes while ramen cook. My hobby is tasting different types of ramen, training, and reading. My dream for the future is to become Hokage and to surpass the 4th. Believe it. Naruto gave his intro, the last part being loud, while the rest like he was joking. Yeah, like someone like you could become Hokage. One boy yelled. In your dreams. Another yelled. Believe what you want, Naruto replied in a calm voice. The next was the raven-haired boy. He stood up and spoke. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I like training with Naruto and spending time with my friends. I dislike arrogant people. My hobby is to train. My dream is to become my clan head and to make my dad proud. Sasuke said every single word with a calm and determined voice, and in an instant he got a fangirl club. Now every girl was looking at Sasuke with flashy and lustful eyes, and every girl had the same thought: he is so cool and cute, and the boys were giving him angry glares. The worst part was Sasuke didn't know why. He turned toward the blonde and spoke. Why are they looking at me like that? And what's with all those glares from other boys? The blonde chuckled and said, welcome to my world, and then he looked towards Sasuke, who had an annoyed look like he was just going to punch him in the face, so he spoke again. You have a fan club of girls. This is the worst part of the academy. Didn't Itachi told you? Hearing this, Sasuke shook his head, giving the answer as no, and Naruto spoke again, and the looks from the boys are because of your cool speech. You are the center of attention, and thus all of them are jealous. Oh, I see. So why are you not jealous? Inquiries Sasuke. Because friends do not jealous because of other success. And you know why I gave that speech like I was joking, so as to become the joker for the class, so nobody will doubt me if I become dead last, replied Naruto. Oh, so you were aware of that, and I thought that you were being stupid. Well, that means we have started with our plan successfully, asked Sasuke. Well, in a way to say yes, and you have done a great job with that speech, replied Naruto. 3 hours later, lunch. He is that boy, one kid mumbled. My mom told me to stay away from him. A girl with pink hair said, yeah, my dad also told me. Another girl said, my dad didn't say anything like that. A girl with blonde hair spoke. My mom said he is bad. Pink-haired girl speak. Their conversation went on like that, and each word hurt Naruto like hell. He was sitting there with a depressed face and tears in his eyes, and only one thought was going through his brain, and that was, why do they hate me? But before he could do anything, Sasuke stood up and shouted, shut the hell up, and don't talk about it anymore. And don't give me that look, you all are disgusting. And with that, all gossip came to an end. The boys were annoyed and jealous because of him, but the girls were drooling over him. Sasuke then looked towards the blonde and said, don't listen to their shit. How come you tolerate all this every time? It has been 3 hours and I am already sick of their glares, and to think you go around it all the time. But this is it. If anyone else does or says or even stares at you, they have to go through me. Before Naruto could speak a single word, their other friends, namely Shikamaru, Kiba, Choji, Hinata, Ino, Shine, came to him, and Shikamaru spoke, don't listen to them, Naruto, and don't waste your time on them, Sasuke, they are not worth it. Naruto was now normal, he was not depressed anymore. He realized that there were his friends who do not speak like this, and he spoke, thank you guys, and thanks a lot, Sasuke, your word meant a lot to me, and don't worry about me, one day they will respect me and then I will become Hokage. With this they all laughed, and the day ended. Naruto went to eat his ramen while Sasuke went home. They both agreed to spend the 4-year, and then graduate. Chapter 2, The Uchiha Massacre. 6 months later, mid-session of the first year of the Ninja Academy. It has been 6 months when they had started in the academy. Sasuke now had a fan club, and almost all girls leaving Hinata. Hyuga was a member of the fan club. When Fugaku Uchiha, Sasuke's dad, commanded him to go directly to 3rd year instead of going from the start, he stated Naruto's idea, and very much to his surprise he understood that idea and allowed him to continue, and he was rather proud of him because he was able to match Itachi in most of the things. Even though Sasuke knew that Itachi was holding back, but it didn't matter because he was happy. Fugaku understand Naruto's idea was one way of saying thing, but the truth was that he saw how Itachi was not able to live his childhood, and he didn't want it to that with Sasuke. Throughout the year, Naruto and Sasuke pulled many pranks on their teachers, and Naruto made sure that Sasuke didn't get caught in most of them that were on very large scale and could get Sasuke into trouble. Because of Naruto, both his and Sasuke's stealth and trap-making abilities were beyond Jonin and ANBU levels. They had also pranked some ANBUs including Itachi, and Sasuke was more proud of himself that he could prank Itachi, who had a sharingan, and still get out of it. All the blame for the pranks were put on Naruto, and he made sure that Sasuke stay clean unless the pranks was on a small scale or Sasuke had played a direct prank, but most of the time Sasuke stay cleaned. Naruto had almost finished his beginner's Fuinjutsu book, and now he was headed towards intermediate Fuinjutsu, and he has also finished basic medical ninjutsu book and was now ready to learn some actual healing methods to heal himself and Sasuke when they spar. Sasuke was not interested in Fuinjutsu or medical ninjutsu, but he was interested in Kenjutsu, and while he trained with his sword, Naruto watched him carefully. He was not interested in it, but he had picked up some basic skills as he used to act Sasuke's sparring partner in Kenjutsu. It was only a matter of half year when they go to the 3rd year of the academy. Uchiha compound, later that night. Sasuke was returning from his training ground and Naruto was with him. They passed through the Uchiha compound. Naruto didn't find anything odd, but it was odd to Sasuke because the roads were clear and it was very quiet, just as quiet as death. I'm so late, he thought, as he approached the area. Soon after, he started developing a bad feeling. Even though it was later than normal, it wasn't that late. It seemed too quiet. Glancing up at the electrical post, he thought he spotted a shadow, but when he stopped and looked, it was gone. I could have sworn there was someone there, he thought, and then looked around, as he noticed all the lights were out. It's too early for everyone to be in bed. He stood in the same position a little while longer, before he took off again. Turning the corner, he stopped dead in his tracks, as he stared at the ground in horror. The area was a disaster. Scattered kunais and lifeless bodies were piled everywhere. Everything was covered in blood. And judging by the smell, he could tell that the bodies had been there for a couple hours, at least. What is this? He asked himself, as he ran up ahead. Who could have done something like this? What is going on? He made his way to his uncle and aunt, who had also been killed. Uncle, auntie, not them too, he thought, clenching his fists. Suddenly, 2 names ran through his mind. Oh no, father and mother, he whispered, before taking off. He ran home as fast as he could, hoping he wouldn't be too late. However, he already knew that he was. Everyone else had been killed. So why was he supposed to believe they weren't? Sasuke's house. Father? Mother? He called, his voice trembling, as he entered the house. Are you there? He laid his bag on the floor, and took off his sandals as he came up the steps. He stood there a little longer, as he focused on the dead silence that filled the room. It gave him an uneasy feeling on his stomach. It even made him slightly sick. He slowly walked through the house, checking each room to see if anyone was there. As he stepped into the living room, there was a loud bang coming from another part of the house. He rushed out of the room, making his way to the place the sound had come from. He almost tripped as he ran across the porch. Coming to a halt, he stopped in front of the door, hesitating to go in. Reaching up to the handle, he immediately pulled his hand back, as he became aware of someone's presence. Someone's in there, he thought, as his heart began pounding. Finally deciding he had to do something, he urged himself to move. He reached up again, his hands shaking, as he opened the door and gulped. What he saw after that took his breath away. His eyes widened. It was father and mother. They were both dead. "Father, mother," he screamed, as he stumbled into the room. The door closed behind me, and he saw someone's shadow. They were standing a few feet away from mother and father. He took a step back, scared as hell. He came closer, and his face was revealed. He let out a sigh of relief. It was only his brother, Itachi. He stopped beside father and mother, looking up at me. His sharingan was activated. "Big brother Itachi, father and mother are both He don't understand. Who could do all this?" he cried, so badly wanting to know. Suddenly, a shuriken whizzed by me, slicing his arm and sleeve. "Wait a sec, what re?" He trailed off in silence, staring at him in fear, as he realized who'd kill all of them. He was shocked it was him. What have you done?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Foolish little brother," he said simply, and added, "I almost pity you." He closed his eyes for a moment, and then soon after, reopened them. Before any thoughts came to their mind, Itachi spoke. "Oh, my little brother, what are you doing here?" And then he turned to look towards Naruto. "Oh, so you are here too. Sorry I didn't notice you. I was very busy in killing my parents." Sasuke burst into crying and spoke stuttering. "Itachi, why did you do this? Why did you kill them?" "I killed them because I wanted to test my power, and I wanted to test my new Sharingan." With that he channeled chakra to his eyes and showed them his new Sharingan. They stayed wide-eyed, not even able to understand what he was saying. Naruto was aware of the Sharingan, but he hasn't seen anything like this. Before anyone could question him, he spoke again. "Let me show you my power, my little brother," and with that he dashed towards him, and he leaned towards his face and flashed his Sharingan right in front of his eyes and spoke Tsukuyami. Inside the Tsukuyami. "This is Tsukuyami, this is my world, and here I am God. I control everything here, even the time itself. 72 hours here would be 3 seconds in the real world. For the next 71 hours and 55 minutes you will watch me kill every single member of the Uchiha clan, and you would not be able to do anything." Itachi gave his speech and then started killing everyone. Sasuke watched in horror, as people were being slaughtered. He knew trying to defend them was useless, but as he continued to watch, he couldn't stand it any longer. He followed my instincts and tried to run after them. However, he couldn't. His legs wouldn't budge. He screamed, as bodies continued to fall, "Itachi! Stop it, why are you showing me all this?" Then more and more people came running at him. He showed no sign of fear, as he stood there, waiting for them to attack. He watched carefully, as they approached him. When they were several feet away, he quickly got into position, and with a single swipe of his sword, he'd killed them. Man after man continued to come, each one stabbed by his sword. "No!" he cried. Looking beside me was my uncle, as he was defending my aunt. He gasped, desperately reaching out for them, as if it would change something. "Uncle, auntie, it was too late. They were killed," he screamed, at the same time crying. Soon, the scene had changed, and he was back in the house. Itachi was standing behind mother and father, who were now setting up, as they looked down, with an unreadable expression on their face. Then with his sword, Itachi backed up, and quickly killed them. "Itachi, father and mother are no!" he screamed. Soon, everything was back to normal, and he fell to his knees, then to the floor, breathing heavily. He looked at his mother and father, then up at Itachi. "Why?" he barely managed to ask, as he choked back tears. He looked at the floor. "Why did you do this? Itachi, why?" "To test the limits of my ability," he replied without hesitation. "To test your ability?" he repeated, with visible frustration. "You're telling methods the reason you butchered every member of our clan?" "It is of great importance," he responded. His mind became clouded with rage. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. "You bastard," he muttered, as he got up, immediately charging at him. "You're out of your mind." Before Sasuke reached him, he punched me the stomach with full force, knocking the breath out of me. He coughed, staying in the same position for a few seconds, then dropped to the floor. He lay there for another moment, and then Sasuke gazed up at his mother and father, unable to keep from crying. He also remembered his uncle and auntie. They'd meant so much to me. They were always encouraging him, and telling him that he will do well in life, and would eventually surpass Itachi if he did his best. Suddenly, Itachi took a step forward, startling me. He quickly looked up, remembering how afraid he was. "I'm scared," he said, getting up. He repeated it once again, before he ran towards the door. He wasn't aware of where he was even going, until he was out of the house and was on the streets. "I don't want to die," he screamed, all the while crying. He slowed down and stopped, as he looked up to see him standing there. Please, he begged. Don't kill me. Sasuke stared at him with an inexpression on his face. He looked back, trembling, unsure of what he'd do next. Foolish little brother, he said coldly. You're not worth killing. Another moment of silence passed by, then he continued. If you wish to kill me, foster your hate, despise me surviving in such an unsightly manner as this be all means, run away, and cling to your wretched life. It's a lie, he sobbed. This isn't like you, big brother, it can't be. I have acted like the older brother you desire for one reason, because I wanted to discover how powerful you were. He explained. I needed to find a worthy opponent to test the limits of my own ability. You have that potential. Now you hate me, now you'll want to defeat me. Which is exactly why I'm going to let you live. You see? It's all for my own benefit. Like me, you may be one of the few who can use Mangekyo Sharingan, but there is a catch. The wind blew, causing my bangs to fall in my face. He felt like asking what he was talking about, but he didn't. He was too afraid. You must kill your best friend, he told me. Sasuke looked at him in disbelief. That's a lie, he muttered, softly, his tears freely falling. Kill him just as I did, Itachi said. It took Sasuke a moment to realize what he was referring to. Then his eyes widened, as he recalled that day. Flashback. Do you know anything about Shursui Uchiha throwing himself in a river? A guy asked Itachi. He stood behind a metal pole, as he listened. You and Shursui Uchiha were the only ones who didn't show up at the assembly yesterday. He continued. It's funny. You kind of looked up to him as an older brother, didn't you? End of flashback. You're Sanjiri, the one who he trailed off into silence for a moment, then finished asking my question. Itachi, you killed Shursui? I did, he answered, without hesitation. How else do you think I managed to obtain these powers? Quick moment of silence in the main hall of Naka Shrine, underneath the 7th tatama mat from the far right, is our clan's secret gathering place. There you'll find a secret document. An explanation for the Uchiha clan's jutsu. It tells of the visual jutsu's true purpose. What he thought. The true purpose. If you learn how to activate it, you will be the third person to have ever used the Mangekyo Sharingan, including myself. To ensure that happens, he chuckled, before he continued. That's enough of reason to let you live well, that's all, he said, before turning around. He edged back, afraid he'd attack me. But he didn't. Instead, he simply walked away, saying, Don't worry, you're not worth killing, my foolish little brother. If you wish to kill me, foster your hate, despise me, seek revenge. Then one day, when you have the same eyes as me, come back and face me. He looked back at me one last time, using the Mangekyo Sharingan. Soon after, the world around me faded, and then everything went black. End of Tsukuyumi. After 3 seconds, Sasuke started screaming. Naruto didn't understand what was happening, and neither did Sasuke. He knew that the Sharingan can see chakra to most extent and can distinguish between chakra signatures. He knew that it can cast genjutsu and can see through genjutsu, and he knew that with it one can copy most of the ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu. But this jutsu, he hasn't heard of this before. When Itachi was about to leave, Naruto spoke. Hey, wait a minute, what did you do to him? He will be alright. What do you think I have done? I showed him how I have killed our parents, and every single of our clan member for 72 hours. And why do I care for his well-being? I have only allowed him to live so that one day I can kill him, when he becomes powerful enough. And get this, with this he again showed both of them his new Sharingan. Naruto was angry while Sasuke was trembling through fear. He was conscious and he heard every single thing, and he set his new goal to kill his brother and avenge his clan. Before Sasuke could speak, Naruto continued. If you wanted to kill him, then why didn't you do it now, since in the future he will be more powerful and could be a threat to you? So why in the future, and not now? Because right now he is of no challenge, and it would be pity to kill him. He is worthless of dying right now, he stated with his voice and eyes devoid of all emotions. Before Sasuke could say anything, Naruto spoke again. Remember this, Itachi, he will not kill you. After hearing this, Sasuke was shocked while Itachi raised an eyebrow, but before anyone could ask what he meant by that, he spoke again. He will break every single bone in your body and put you to death, and then I will fix you, and then he will do it again. And this will continue until you beg for dying, Naruto stated with the same voice, and Itachi spoke, a voice devoid of any emotions. Before anyone could say or blink, Sasuke attacked Itachi. He went for a punch on his head, but Itachi blocked. He landed on the ground and swift his leg towards his leg, but Itachi jumped. While still in the air, Naruto launched a fire jutsu. Itachi used a substitution and launched some fireballs towards them. While they were busy dodging them, he threw several kunai and shuriken towards them. They tried their best to dodge them, but one of the kunai hit Naruto in the eye. Naruto pulled it out and threw it aside, only to notice that his eye was badly hurt, and he realized that he would not be able to see again through that eyes. Sasuke saw this and asked the blonde Naruto, "Are you okay?" "Yes, Sasuke, I am fine, let's end this fight," he replied with pain in his voice. They charged towards Itachi with everything they got up their sleeves only to be beaten again. They were lying on the ground beaten and hurt very badly. At least Naruto was very badly hurt, while Sasuke was more or less able to walk. Without any mercy, Itachi threw more weapons towards them, and Sasuke knew that he can either save himself or Naruto, and then it hit him. Everything slowed down. The kunai and shuriken were moving slowly, and without any second thought he jumped towards the blonde and then held a kunai in his hand and started tackling every single weapon thrown at them. To his bad luck, one shuriken hit him on leg and one shuriken hit Naruto on the other eye. That blonde's luck lost both his eyes. And when he noticed Itachi was out of the house, he jumped out the house forgetting about his wounds and his friend's wounds and spoke to Itachi. Itachi, remember this, I will find you and I will kill you. Very well, but first you have to get them. With that he flashed his eyes and showed his new Sharingan to his little brother. This is Mangekyo Sharingan, the next level of Sharingan. To achieve them you have to kill your best friend, that's why I have left him alive. If you want to kill me, go and kill him first, and when you awaken your eyes come and get me. With that he left. No, I won't kill him, I will find another way for this, or I will kill you without that cursed Sharingan. With that said, he remembered his friend and then rushed towards him and picked him up and started running out, only to be stopped by the Hokage and his ANBU. Sasuke handed Naruto to the Hokage and due to chakra exhaustion he fell down. The Hokage spoke ANBU get them both towards the hospital and set up a barrier all over the compound. Nobody without permission would go inside. Understood. With that every ANBU nodded and Hokage went to the hospital with one ANBU carrying Sasuke and he himself carrying Naruto. At the hospital, one day later, Sasuke woke up and saw Hokage and some ANBU guarding the room. Before he could do anything, the Hokage came forward and spoke. How are you feeling, Sasuke? I am feeling well, Lord Hokage. How long was I out? Asked the boy. About 1 day, replied the Hokage. Where is Naruto? Asked Sasuke. The Hokage pointed towards the blonde who was still unconscious lying just next to his bed. Will he be alright? Asked the boy. In a way to say yes, but he would not be able to see. His both eyes are damaged and we was not able to do anything to recover them, replied the Hokage. Why don't you transplant his eyes to someone who is ready to donate? Asked Sasuke. That's the problem. No one is ready to do so, replied the Hokage. Sasuke understood what he meant by that statement, as he has already witnessed the glares the villagers give to him, but he still didn't know why. So he asked, why do the villagers give him those looks and glares? That, you see, Sasuke, my boy, is an S-class secret and you are not old enough to know. Once Naruto will be old enough I will tell him, then it will be his decision whether to tell the others or not, replied the Hokage. Before he could ask anything else, the blonde woke up and spoke. Hey, where am I, old man? How did you know I was here, Naruto, my boy? Asked the Hokage. Oh, that I sensed your chakra, replied the blonde. He can sense chakra at such an early age, incredible. Maybe I should test him out, thought the Hokage. Okay, Naruto, my boy, you are in the hospital. You were attacked by Itachi, and you were badly injured, so I brought you here, replied the Hokage. He let the words sink and then continued without giving the blonde to ask a question. Naruto, can you tell how many people are there in this room and where are they? The blonde did not understand why he was asking, but he did it, and sensed 7 people in the room and replied, there are 8 people in this room, me, you, Sasuke, and 5 others. 4 are your ANBU that usually guard you in your office, and 1 is the ANBU that sometimes look over me from distances, and you usually assign him to me during time to time. As for your other questions, he is sitting over there. With that he pointed towards the sofa and spoke again, and he is kind of nervous, while 2 are just outside the door. Sasuke is besides my bed and by his chakra looks like he is conscious, and you are standing just besides him. While the last 2 ANBU are behind you using jutsu to hide them. To say that the Hokage was shocked would be an understatement. He was literally picking his jaw from the floor. He can sense all this now. What could he achieve in the near future if given proper attention, thought the Hokage. Before he could say anything, the blonde spoke. How is Sasuke, and I mean mentally? I can see that he is physically alright, but Itachi said something about showing him 72 hours of hell in 3 seconds. I can hardly understand what he meant by that. I am alright, Naruto. It was his cursed Sharingan, and some sort of new jutsu. I spent 72 hours there while he showed me how he killed every single member of my clan one by one. And when the jutsu ended it had been only 3 seconds, spoke the last Uchiha. Before Naruto could say something he spoke again. How are you, Naruto? I am fine, just a little pain in my eyes and these bandages are troublesome. Hey, did I say troublesome? Damn you, Shikamaru. Your speech is getting to me. At this everyone in the room started laughing and they were relieved that his eye problem did not get to him. He spoke again. So old man, I guess I cannot see from either one or both my eyes. So what is it, one or both? You can't see from both eyes, my boy. But before the Hokage could say anything, Sasuke completed that sentence. But it is temporary. What do you mean by that, Sasuke? The Hokage and Naruto speak in unison. I mean by that is that my whole clan is murdered by my big brother, so nobody would say anything if a pair of Sharingan is implanted instead of your eyes. He then looked towards the Hokage and spoke. Lord Hokage, I want to donate my dad's eye to Naruto. Very well, and something else you would like to say before I take my leave? The Hokage asked. Yeah, I would also like to keep my mom's eye as well as eyes my uncle and aunt, and the rest of the eyes are to be destroyed, and if you can check, then please check if all the eyes are intact or not, asked Sasuke. Very well, replied the Hokage, and with that he took his leave. Why are you giving me your dad's eye, asked the blonde. Because you are my friend and because we both will find and kill Itachi together, and plus Sharingan is a very powerful dojutsu. If my clan would have been alive, then also I would have given you the Sharingan. It was my thought from the past few days, replied Sasuke. Thanks, said Naruto, and further spoke, does your family keep spare Sharingan of the deceased? Yes, but there are very few, and those who are considered strong, only their eyes are kept, replied Sasuke. And who are considered strong? Asked the blonde. Mainly clan heads or prodigies of the generation, replied Sasuke. Then don't give me your dad's eye. It belongs to you and you will be emotionally attached to it, and if you want to give it to me for power, then give me the oldest or the strongest, replied Naruto. Very well, as you say, but first implant my dad's eye and then later you can pick any eye you want. I will take you to Naka Shrine, replied Sasuke. What is Naka Shrine? Asked the boy. It is a secret place under the Uchiha compound where the secrets of the Sharingan are kept. Only an Uchiha with an awakened Sharingan can open it, replied Sasuke. Are you sure you want to show that place to me? I mean, I am not an Uchiha and all, replied Naruto. It doesn't matter, there is no Uchiha left leaving me and Itachi, and besides from him you are my only family. You are like my little brother, so it doesn't harm to show you that place, and I also want to see it, replied Sasuke. Okay. Wait, little brother, the brother part one understand, but why little? And don't say that because of my height, replied Naruto. I am 1 month older than you, replied Sasuke with a serious look on his face. Oh man, Naruto cried and Sasuke burst into laughing. Sometime later. Naruto, you can proceed to Operation Theater. Inu, please guide him, the Hokage commanded both of them. Sasuke, there is a problem. 5 pair of eyes are missing and the rest are destroyed. He handed him the scroll and continued, the eyes you requested are sealed inside them, and now tell me everything that happened. Sasuke started explaining everything that had happened, about the Mangekyo Sharingan and the killing part, and the Tsukuyomi, and everything else. Now if that is the case, then I think either Itachi took the 5 pair, or there were 5 more shinobi who helped him in return for those 5 pair of eyes, the Hokage stated. I will think of that when I become genin, till then I have to train and learn to use my Sharingan, stated Sasuke. Very well, now I will take my leave. With that the Hokage left the room. The next day, Uchiha compound. They left the hospital, and went directly towards the Nara shrine. Sasuke didn't ask any questions about why he wanted the oldest or strongest Sharingan, and it didn't bother him either. They went to the specific tomb and Sasuke did the necessary hand seals which Naruto copied because his Sharingan was activated and he didn't know how to control it. Inside the Nara shrine. They went down the stairs and stood in the middle of the room. On the sides there were shelves and on them were scrolls and books. Naruto guessed they would be about clan secret and all. When they moved towards one of the shelves, Sasuke placed one scroll on it, and searched and picked one scroll and pulled it out. Due to Naruto's curiosity, he asked, Hey Sasuke, what was that scroll and what is this scroll? In that scroll was the eyes of my family excluding Itachi, and in this scroll are eyes of the clan head and prodigies of the clan. With that said, he unsealed the scroll and there were about 25 jars filled with some liquid, and in the middle of each, a pair of eye. Naruto started looking towards them and picked 5 jars which were about decades ago. He then closed his eyes and picked one of them. It was named after Izuna Uchiha. He opened them and picked up the eyes and implanted them. Since he knew medical ninjutsu, it was a piece of cake for him. After that he dropped Fugaku's eyes into the jar and handed it to Sasuke. Sasuke immediately sealed that jar among his other family members. When they were about to move, something strange happened. Naruto fell unconscious. After a while, Naruto opened his eyes and saw Sasuke looking at him with shocked eyes. Naruto spoke, What happened to me and what happened to you? Did you saw a ghost or something? Your eyes, they are back to normal. They are not the activated Sharingan, replied Sasuke. Oh yeah, I can't see chakra and the vision is back to normal. But you said that if a non-Uchiha transplant these eyes, they cannot be deactivated. Does this mean that I don't have a Sharingan now? The blonde asked. Channel your chakra to your eyes and then let's see what the result comes, said the raven-haired boy. Naruto channeled chakra to his eyes and to Sasuke's amazement his Sharingan came back to view with 3 tomos in each eye while Sasuke had 1 tomo in each eye. He spoke to the blonde, Congrats Naruto, you have a fully matured Sharingan once again. But it doesn't make sense, I am not an Uchiha, so how? He stopped for a moment, and spoke, Maybe we should talk to old man about this, he suggested. Sasuke nodded in agreement, and with that they left for the Hokage office. Hokage's office. Old man, you have to see this to believe this. With that said, he switched off his sharing and surprised the Hokage and the ANBUs about this. After some time the Hokage spoke, Everyone in this room, it's an S-class secret, do not talk about this until Naruto himself decides to reveal it, and when everyone nodded, he spoke again, Now young man, care to explain? With that said they both began to explain everything and the Hokage nodded and spoke, Well, this could mean only one thing, that Sharingan mutated your DNA and found a common ground for Uzumaki and Uchiha bloodline. Maybe it was because those eyes were very powerful, or maybe it was not used for decades. What Uzumaki bloodline? I didn't know there was a bloodline in me, asked the blonde. Yes, the Uzumaki possess special chakra. Your mother was able to create chakra chains, and you must also have something like that or something else entirely, or maybe that change of Sharingan is because of your chakra, and the Uzumaki clan was also known for large chakra reserves and it was feared due to their skills in Fuinjutsu. Maybe that's why you like Fuinjutsu so much. Now what do you mean clan and was feared? Asked Naruto. Yes, the Uzumaki was a clan and were distant cousins to Senju, and they helped in the formation of the Hidden Leaf Village, but they were never a part of it. The swirl on the back of the Jonin and Chunin crest is a symbol of friendship towards the Uzumaki clan. They made seals and weapons for the Hidden Leaf Village. Without their help we would not have survived the first, second, and third Great Ninja War. During the third Ninja War they were destroyed by the Hidden Stone Village and Hidden Cloud Village. By the time we send our shinobi and your mother there, they were already destroyed, stated the Hokage. Old man, tell me more about my mother, asked the blonde. Naruto, I told you that it is an S-class secret, and once you become Genin I will tell you 2 secrets about your life which will include about your mother. You can choose whether you want to share your no secrets with your friends or not, and once you became Chunin I will tell you about your father, and once more secrets. Until then work hard, stated the third Hokage. What's with all the secrets? It looks like you are living a life full of secrets, and nothing else, stated Sasuke. Sasuke, it's because his parents made lot of enemies, and if they get to know about Naruto, then they will come after him, and he is not strong enough to protect himself, stated the Hokage. Okay, they both spoke together, and then they left. Nara Shrine, 1 month later. They went again towards the Nara Shrine to study more about Sharingan and its abilities and to go through the library. Once there they spent their whole month to go through the library and clan's secret. They find very little information about the Mangekyo Sharingan, nothing they already didn't know. Description of Sharingan according to the scrolls. The first of the Sharingan's powers is being able to see chakra flow. The Sharingan itself gives color to chakra, allowing the wielder to differentiate them. They are also able to tell if a person is under a genjutsu because the person's chakra flow would be irregular. The Sharingan's second most prominent ability grants the user an incredible clarity of perception, allowing them to easily recognize genjutsu and different forms of chakra, though not to the same extent as the Byakugan. This also allows the user to pick up on subtle details, enabling them to read lip movements or mimic something like pencil movements. As the Sharingan evolves, gaining more tomo, this ability extends to being able to track fast-moving objects before finally giving some amount of predictive capabilities to the user, allowing them to see the image of an attacker's next move from the slightest muscle tension in their body and counterattack or dodge without any wasted movement. However, even though the user may be able to see an attack or know it is coming, their body may not always have time to react. The Sharingan's third and most well-known ability is that it grants the user the ability to copy almost any technique that he or she witnesses, apart from other Kekai Genkai techniques. The user can memorize ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu with near-perfect accuracy, allowing the user to use the techniques as their own, or even modify them to create their own new techniques. In order to reproduce a copy technique, however, one must have the necessary skill or ability to perform them. In addition to physical skill and Kekai Genkai techniques, the Sharingan cannot reproduce techniques dependent on other factors, such as summons that the user has not signed a contract with. The Sharingan's final commonly used ability is capable of inducing a unique brand of hypnosis that involves suggesting actions and thoughts to the opponent through genjutsu cast by simple eye contact between both parties. More advanced Sharingan users can take the hypnosis ability even further to the point where a powerful, or even a tailed beast may be controlled. In a similar manner, one can enter a Jinchuriki's subconscious to effectively suppress the tailed beast's chakra. While this control can be absolute when used on a single target, when cast on multiple ones, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain said control, giving chance for stronger targets like the tailed beasts to temporarily break free in certain instances. The hypnotic ability coupled with the other aspects of the Sharingan can make the user appear as if they can see the future. First, the user must perfectly mimic every move their opponent makes and possibly their thoughts and words through careful observation. Then, they suggest an action to the opponent such as hand seals for a technique that the opponent and Sharingan user already know and copy that. With these things done, the user can complete the action even before the opponent does, possibly using the Sharingan's genjutsu to confuse or delay them. As with other genjutsu cast by the Sharingan are capable of putting an opponent to sleep, inducing paralysis, replaying memories to someone else via genjutsu, or creating various illusions to deceive someone or torture the person. The potency of the Sharingan's illusion is dependent on the user's knowledge and skill with implementing genjutsu. Two Sharingan users are also able to free each other from other forms of genjutsu by first using genjutsu on each other, allowing them to enter their comrade's mind and free each other from the genjutsu. In addition, more rarely used by the Uchiha clan, the Sharingan can allow the user to perform two very powerful and unique genjutsu, Izanagi and Izanami, which alters or decide one's destiny, respectively. Using Izanagi, the user can warp reality for a short amount of time, changing reality into illusion and illusion into reality, thus escaping death and rewriting destiny. Although to make use of this technique to its full extent, the user must have extreme chakra levels. Izanami, on the other hand, is a genjutsu that traps the victim in an infinite loop disregarding their five senses. This technique was specifically created to counter anyone who would abuse Izanagi's ability to alter their destiny, by forcing the victims to relive the situation over and over until they accept it and cease using Izanagi. Both techniques have been labeled kinjutsu, because use of either causes the eye that performed Izanagi or Izanami to close forever. Although the Sharingan consumes the user's chakra while active, the amount of chakra that the user must exert is so insignificant that they can keep it active constantly. However, when a Sharingan is transplanted to a non-Uchiha, the chakra drain is significant, leading them to cover it up when not in use. The Sharingan's power, because of its ties to the curse of hatred, is both a blessing and a curse. The moment that an Uchiha comes to know a powerful emotion towards someone, such as love and friendship, a stressful or emotional condition brought out from losing that precious person causes the brain to release a special form of chakra that affects the optic nerves while transforming the eyes into Sharingan. After its initial activation, the Sharingan may be used freely, although it is possible for an Uchiha to lose memory of such an event and not reactivate it until through willpower years later. When the Sharingan is first activated by a user, it has a different number of tomo around the central pupil, varying between users. The wielder of the Sharingan, through continued use and training, changes its form further, which involves the eye maturing fully until it has 3 tomo. As the Sharingan develops, the user gains heightened abilities through the heightened ocular sense. For example, they can at least copy hand movements with 1 tomo, predict a person's movement, and copy techniques with 2 and completely use the Sharingan's abilities when it is fully matured. End of the description. So, it seems that Sharingan is the strongest dojutsu. I doubt that even the Byakugan can match this, replied Naruto. Yes, Sharingan is the strongest dojutsu, and Itachi managed to activate a new level of Sharingan that was more powerful than the normal. Byakugan is nowhere near to Sharingan, said Sasuke. What did he said about his new eyes? Asked Naruto. He said that it was Mangekyo Sharingan, and to achieve it, I must kill my best friend, replied Sasuke. So, you are planning to kill me, said Naruto. But then he saw Sasuke's annoyed look and apologized. Sorry, I was just kidding. I know you won't do that to me. After all, you are not Itachi. You are Sasuke Uchiha, my older brother. Thanks, Naruto, he said, smiling. They got many scrolls on many jutsu. Within 2 months they mastered every single fire jutsu they laid their hands on. They read all the history of the Uchiha compound, and since Naruto was now unofficially an Uchiha, they didn't have any problem whatsoever. Naruto also started spending nights in Sasuke's house in one of the empty rooms because of the intense training. They found several other scrolls which they later on realized that they needed Mangekyo Sharingan to read them, and Sasuke tries to find the true purpose of visual powers, but he failed to do so. There was no other way to achieve the Mangekyo, but Sasuke realized that if killing his best friend is a way, then it certainly has something to do with the trauma or guilt that comes after killing. Since the Sharingan normally awakens at intense situations, he realized that he can awake his Mangekyo without killing Naruto. Only he needed was the trauma and guilt that comes after it. They also learned 2 forbidden techniques of the Uchiha clan, Izanagi, which can change fate and rewrite it, such as escape death, and Izanami as its counter. It is an infinite loop of illusion which forces the opponent to accept his fate, or change his decision, or understand the wrong of his ways. In short, it changes one's destiny. But as the cost for this, one has to lose one of his Sharingan. They also learned to implant any of the Sharingan's ability to any eye with an illusion. After a month later. From the first day that you approached me, that day at the dock, you never really seemed younger than me. Naruto sent his friend a confused glance. Obviously I'm not talking about physically, since you were a midget back then. Sasuke expertly ignored Naruto's glare and continued, and I also had the preconceived notion that you were a pranking, ramen, orange-loving dope. Naruto snorted at that, making Sasuke smirk before his expression turned serious again. But then we started hanging out and talking more, and even though at first you tried to hide it, your true personality was starting to surface. Certain things you said and did, things I'd catch you reading or writing before you hid it, were way beyond what the dead last should have been capable of. Naruto shifted, uncomfortable of the reminder of when he hid his true self from his friend. His eyes widened when he saw one of Sasuke's rare, true smiles on the Uchiha's stern face. Then you trusted me enough to drop the mask, then later telling me your most important secrets. Sasuke clenched his hand on his shirt, fisting it over his heart. I admit at first that I thought the reason you were so smart and mature was because of third Hokage, but then you told me about council and how you were treated. Naruto as well had clenched his hands into fists, staring down at them and giving a weak laugh. When you kept getting stronger so fast while we were training, I couldn't understand how and I was jealous, wanting that strength to defeat my brother. But when you told me your reasons for trying so hard, Sasuke remembered the day he had simply asked Naruto, telling me you were growing stronger to protect your precious people. To protect your home, your village, and to prove to those who have mistreated you your entire life, and the whole time you were striving towards a goal people constantly told you was impossible for someone like you. Sasuke took a few deep breaths as he took in the sight of the entire village, the significance of such a scene. Naruto had taught him that the Uchiha didn't define Konoha. The Uchiha was only a part of Konoha, a rather small part if one took into account all the separate clans, non-clan ninja, and civilians. And while Sasuke still valued his clan, he understood that it was not superior towards the village or anyone in it, that he was a member of Konoha and that was where his loyalty should lie. Naruto taught him that strength came from the will to protect, not just a desire for revenge. It was Naruto that taught him to really understand the will of fire that Konoha was so well known for. He turned to Naruto, showing him his own will of fire, the fire that Naruto had ignited in him. I respect you because you are stronger than me. You also made me understand how you gained that strength. I respect your determination, I support your goal, and I trust in your will of fire. He faced Naruto full on, his back straight and his eyes serious. You are my first and only best friend. You are family in all but blood, closer and more trustworthy than my own family was, and an even better older brother than Itachi was. Naruto stared wide-eyed at Sasuke, watching as he held up his hand, palm front and fingers spread slightly. My, that was the longest I've heard you speak in a while. Naruto gave a mischievous smirk. Are you professing your undying love to me, Sasuke? If so, many of your fangirls will be very disappointed. Sasuke's cheeks reddened as he sputtered behind his hands, making Naruto laugh out loud. Shut up, I can't believe you said that. He shouted indignantly, only making Naruto laugh harder. Eventually, Sasuke couldn't help but join Naruto in his laughter, finding his amusement rather contagious. The two eventually quieted down, lapsing into a comfortable silence as they turned their attention to the darkened sky, the stars sparkling brightly now that the sun had gone. Chapter 3: The Hyuga Prank. After 1.5 years, end of the 3rd year of the Ninja Academy. It has been 1.5 years since the massacre of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke is acting more cool and determined since then, and he talks to his friends but only when necessary, and he usually be himself only around Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke are both 11, they both learn many fire jutsu and many jutsu based on their affinity. Naruto had taught Sasuke how to make solid henge. It was difficult in the beginning, but it becomes a lot easier afterwards. They both had perfected their taijutsu style, both learned the basic styles and implanted some of their own moves in them, making it their original creation. They both have kept it a secret that Naruto and he both have an awakened sharingan. As for everyone, they believe Sasuke is the last Uchiha with a sharingan that is yet to be awakened. During one of their training in the previous year, Sasuke awakened his third tomo in each eye due to the excitement of the situation. Now they both had a fully matured sharingan, and they both knew how to control them. Very few people knew their abilities, one the Hokage, and two some of his trusted A and BU. They both had started and completed the first stage of their elemental training in fire element, and they were already doing the second stage from this year. Naruto has completed his intermediate Fuinjutsu, and now he was headed towards advanced Fuinjutsu. He learned to do the basic medical ninjutsu to heal and to do other things, but he can't find anything after that in the books. The Hokage have given them instructions and guidelines throughout the year but haven't helped them directly because of the council, and they both knew this. Naruto has created some gravity and restriction seals and placed them on both him and Sasuke, and they are progressing very fast. One can say that they are already chunin level. Sasuke was not playing pranks very much often but usually tag along on large-scale pranks, but he was getting back to normal. He just needed a little more time. It was peaceful in the village hidden in the leaves. Twilight was just ending and the night was beginning with the appearance of the first stars in the night sky. The scene was tranquil in every sense, with the fading light capturing the village until one voice run through Ichiraku Ramen shop. What was the rather low appreciation Tucci and Im of Ichiraku Ramen received from their favorite customer Naruto Uzumaki, the so-called demon brat among other special names. To this day Naruto couldn't understand the meaning of the names or what he had done to deserve his titles. Naruto couldn't help but think, I know I've pulled a lot of pranks over the years, but to be called a demon and to be treated the way I do? It just doesn't make sense. I didn't even start my pranks until my first year in the academy, but the names have been flying around since I can remember. These thoughts rolled through Naruto's mind almost daily since the names were used just as often, but that didn't matter tonight. Tonight was a very special night for Naruto. He was going to pull off his most ingenious prank ever. Tonight he planned to get revenge on the stuck-up white-eyed teams. Out of all the times he had been mistreated, beaten, thrown out of stores and refused service, never had someone done what these teams had done. It was unforgivable. Naruto, are you really going to go through with doing a prank on the Hyuga? was the concerned question from Ayam, knowing just as every other villager the physical and political might the clan wielded. In a solemn voice Naruto replied, Ayam, you've seen how I've been treated all my life. Tucci and Ayam looked down, remembering everything they had seen. I can ignore all of that because I have a few people like you who are kind to me. But after what those three said and did as he said those words, Naruto's fist tightened until his chopsticks cracked apart in his hand as he remembered the indignity he suffered at the hands of those men. At least after a beating he had his pride, but these men didn't even allow him that. Flashback the night before. Thanks for dinner, old man, said Naruto as he began to stand from his stool. Anytime, Naruto, you just train hard for your exam. With the cheers from his favorite chef, Naruto began to leave his favorite, and possibly only, eating place. As he exited the bar he bumped right into someone, almost knocking them over. Sorry about that. It was my fault, Naruto apologized as he looked up into those void pale white eyes that always sent a shiver down his spine. Those eyes just don't look right. At least that one girl in my class with those eyes has some color to them, but these ones are just creepy. As Naruto was getting up he was roughly shoved back down to the ground by one of the other two Hyuga. How dare you act in such a callous way to us, you little brat? What do you think you're doing attacking one of the noble members of the Hyuga clan? Said one of the two bodyguards forcefully, the disgust and hatred clear in his voice. Attacking? I just bumped into him. I even apologized, pleaded Naruto, trying to avoid another fight with the villagers. Too late. Demon Naruto then received a harsh chakra-enhanced strike, sending him right into a nearby wall, leaving a few cracks from the impact of his body. At this point Tucci was heading over to help, but one look from Naruto stopped him in his tracks. While straining with the pain, and spitting out a little blood, Naruto said to his assailants, I don't know what your problem is with me, but I already apologized for the accident, and I don't want trouble, so I'll be going home now. Naruto struggled to his feet and began to shamble in the direction of his apartment. Only to hear the words that would haunt him for months to come. Not that he was afraid of the Hyuga, far from it. It was the truth in the words that hurt him so. Even if he didn't want to believe it, he knew they were telling the truth. As if a demon like you has a home to go to. No one's waiting for you, no one wants you. You're just a little demon who will never be accepted by anyone. Worthless. The one who seemed like the leader of the three said these words with ice in his voice, and the most evil smirk plastered on his face. After hearing the icy words of the man, Naruto finally snapped. All the years of abuse, neglect, and indifference towards him flashed before his eyes. Every injustice, so-called punishment, and the glares filled with hate and loathing. He always hated the villagers for the way he was treated, but he'd always just pushed it away and continued on heading for his dream. He knew acting out any more than he did would only give them more of a reason to hate him. This, however, was too much. He could deal with all the pain, loneliness, and hate, but to have it thrown in his face. His pride would never allow such a thing. In a rage he had never known before, his eyes flashed blood red, and he blurred out of existence, shocking the old man and Ayam. Then, just as suddenly, he reappeared right in between the three Hyuga. To say the three men were shocked would be an extreme understatement. 1 minute they were taunting the demon brat, waiting for it to start crying, and the next he appears right in their faces with those piercing red eyes burning into them. Using their shock, Naruto, in one fluid motion, kicks the legs right out from under the one Hyuga standing to the right of the leader with a sweeping roundhouse, only to pull ninja wire out of his sleeve to wrap around the arms of the Hyuga on the left, who tried to strike the side of his head only for it to brush across his left arm. Too late, Naruto realizes that the strike was some kind of jutsu and, to his shock, his whole left arm went numb with a slight burning in it. As the pain from the strike set in, Naruto's rage disappeared as quickly as it came. Shit, what was that? He thought, now freaking out. I can't move my arm. This is bad. Why did I lose my temper like that? 2 of them are obviously chunin, and I don't know about the other. I'm so screwed. I might have a chance against one chunin. While Naruto was recovering from the attack, the first Hyuga was up again and was able to land a devastating blow to side of Naruto's head, sending him straight into the same wall as before, cracking it further. Take that, you insolent little brat! The hit to his head was making his mind swim, and Naruto was barely standing with the pain freshly pumping through him. How dare you disgrace the mighty Hyuga like this? As a member of the head family, I will pass down your punishment. Looking on with dull blue eyes, Naruto could easily tell that they had gathered quite the crowd and that the Hyuga in front of him was screaming something or other and taking the strangest stance he had ever seen. Even though he was barely aware of his surroundings at the time, because of the pain he was in, he couldn't help but be interested in the jutsu. The Hyuga took his stance, crouching low to the ground, legs spread, stretching both arms in opposite directions, palms facing up. As he took this stance, he said the simple words, "You are within the field of my divination." While Naruto looked on with hazy eyes, all he could think was, why does this always happen to me? What have I done in my life? And what the hell is he doing? After this simple thought, the last thing Naruto could hear was a roar of 8 trigrams, 64 palms, 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 strikes. One strike after another landed painfully on Naruto, and with everyone he felt less and less, which he was thankful for. With the final strike, Naruto was thrown viciously into the same wall for a third and final time. The final blow was too strong for the already damaged wall to take, and it finally gave way and collapsed right on top of our hero, covering him from sight. Once the attack was finished, Ayam was crying on her father's shoulder for Naruto's pain. Those teams, to do that to a child, were Tsuchi's only words to express his anger. Before the crowd had completely dispersed, the leader of the three Hyuga gave the simple statement, "Trash belongs in the garbage." With that said, several sadistic grins appeared in the crowd as they watched happily. Before either Tsuchi or Ayam could stop it, the two branch members had already tossed Naruto's broken body into a nearby dumpster and walked away behind the main family member, leaving the caring ramen cooks to aid the fallen boy. End of flashback. "I can't let that go so easily," Ayam said Naruto solemnly. "Naruto, what are you planning to do?" asked a very concerned Ayam. Naruto looked serious for a moment before breaking out into a foxy grin. "It is better if you don't know, Ayam. Just be sure to be open early tomorrow. I'll be needing breakfast when I'm done. And I'm sure you'll get a good laugh too." With that said, Naruto left the ramen bar with a black pack slung over his shoulder, filled with who knows what. There have been many pranksters in Konoha's history, but none as famous as Uzumaki Naruto. He has pulled more pranks than any other and has yet to be caught for any of them by anyone other than Iruka or the third Hokage, the legendary professor himself, and even then they have had a hard time proving he had pulled them, even though it was obvious he had. This alone has made him legendary for his stealth and pranking abilities within the village. He has even been able to prank multiple chunin, jonin, and any others that have gotten on his bad side. The only ones that seem out of league for Naruto's prank abilities are the ANBU and the Hokage himself. But that didn't stop him from trying now, did it? Even while being perused by the ANBU, Naruto was still able to give them the slip one way or another. The ANBU were always able to find him and even track him rather easily, but every time they had cornered him he was able to disappear again. Many had started to believe he knew some advanced form of the body flicker or teleportation technique, but they have never found out if he did. Many just chalk it up to his foxy ways. After all these years of pranks, only Imuno Iruka has been able to capture the elusive blonde on a regular basis. Whether Iruka's skills surpass Naruto's or if the blonde just surrenders to the scarred chunin is unknown, but to this day no one knows how he always manages to escape. His knowledge of Konoha's alleys and shortcuts was second to none, almost infamous really, along with his own sexy jutsu, which was the cause of a lot of the escapes, but the mystery of how he does what he does is still a mystery. Tonight he wasn't playing a prank on just anyone. No ANBU, jonin, or ninja in general could compare with this. Tonight he was going to prank the famous Hyuga clan, wielders of the Byakugan, the rumored all-seeing eyes. He had heard rumors of its ability to see through solid objects, 360 degrees, the chakra circulatory system, and even the chakra points. Scary, and supposedly it was supposed to do even more. This alone meant extreme caution. That is exactly why we now find our hero hiding behind a building on the edge of the Hyuga compound. Using the cover of night, he is preparing for the upcoming mission. Changing out of his signature orange jumpsuit, Naruto began re-examining his plans for the night. Everything has to be perfect. Let's see, first I need to get past the guards and then sneak into the first of the 4 buildings in the compound. 2 of them seem to be living quarters and the other one seems to be a kitchen and storage of some kind, with the last, apparently the main building, most likely filled with greeting halls, meeting spots, and other boring stuff like that. The garden that runs between the 2 residential buildings would be the best cover. I wonder why the family is split into 2 houses. They could have made it easier for me by all being in the same building. Naruto then looked more closely to try and see if there was some kind of trick to the compound. If one of the buildings were actually a trap for intruders, then he most likely would miss breakfast. It seems one of those buildings could hold them all, so why would they separate themselves? I don't see any traps, maybe they just like their space? But one of the sections seems to be more lavish than the other. I wonder if maybe there is a difference between the 2 groups. Naruto decided to finish his thought aloud. Well, it doesn't make a difference now. Naruto stood wearing black ANBU-style pants that seemed to absorb all light around them. They ended with basic black bandages wrapped tightly around his ankles, leading into black shinobi sandals with red trim that ended higher on his calves for better support. On his upper body he wore a skin-tight black long-sleeved t-shirt, black fingerless gloves, and bandages tied around the lower half of his face to hide the telltale whisker marks. This is much better. I wish I could dress like this all the time, but it took me nearly a month to save up for this set of clothes. With the little money I have left after my living budget, not to mention I had to use a henge to get into the store to buy them, too bad I can't. I like orange and all, but it's just a little too noticeable. But if it wasn't for me having to learn stealth in bright orange, I probably wouldn't be this good. Maybe I could get a black and orange outfit, or maybe just a mask. Well, that's enough daydreaming, it's time to move. Before Naruto ran off, he tied a long black cloth over his head, hiding his hair completely to finish his disguise. They may be able to see through solid objects, but it doesn't hurt to be safe. Moving as quickly and quietly as he could, Naruto jumped the outer wall of the garden, and while staying in the shadows he began circling the inner wall of the compound looking for an opening in the guard's watch. Luckily for him, none of them seemed to use their prized Byakugan. I was worried that this was going to end before it began. The arrogance of the Hyuga was ridiculous. Only one guard was stationed at every entrance to the complex and 3 walking the grounds. Not even guards at the doors to the houses. After circling the grounds twice, he finally saw the perfect opening. With a burst of chakra-enhanced speed, he rushed to the tree closest to his target, and with a quick rebound off the tree he flew to what he assumed to be a hallway window. The closest guard looked around to see what the rustling sound a moment ago was, but only found a slight unsettling of dust. With a slight shrug, he decided to patrol the houses just to be safe. Once inside, Naruto quickly merged with the shadows of the walls just as he was trained to do. He then began his search for his intended targets. While moving from room to room, Naruto practiced paranoia he had never known. At the slightest noise, moving shadow, new scent, or just an out-of-place shiver on his skin, he would henge into a rug or other common item in an instant. Because of his solid henge, it was very difficult for the Byakugan also to tell the difference. It was a good practice too, as his paranoia had saved him a couple of times from a guard making his rounds. 3 hours after the start of his infiltration, Naruto was reaching the end of his job. Slipping into every room of the compound proved to be more of a challenge than he had thought it would be. The place was huge, almost maze-like, but he had still done it. Now, on the last few rooms, Naruto was getting the biggest swell of pride for his own accomplishments since he had mastered substitution without hand seals. He hardly got recognized for anything other than pranks. At least when he pulled pranks, people were awed until they discovered it was him. Some praise is better than none. As soon as he entered the next room and began to acquire his target, he caught a familiar scent that made his stomach drop. The only thing that he could think was Hinata? As he turned to look at the sleeping girl in front of him, while holding a pair of lacy violet panties. Several thoughts ran through his head, but the most prevalent was, I can't do this to Hinata, she's never done anything to me. She's actually been one of the nicest people in the whole village. Also, I had no idea Hinata had this kind of side to her, he thought while putting the panties back and finding a lot more racier ones in varying colors and designs, earning a raised eyebrow. As he thought of this, images of a blushing, stuttering Hinata that was complimenting him in a quiet, almost whispering voice entered his mind. Next came all the times he spotted her following him with that same blush, as well as her habit of poking her fingers together. He couldn't help but wonder, I wonder why she follows me sometimes? She also hides whenever I turn her way or try to approach her. She obviously isn't following me around to talk. Maybe there's another reason? With a slight blush he decides, no, he couldn't do it, he couldn't prank her. With one last look at the peacefully sleeping girl, he slipped out of the room just as quietly as he had come. Now to finish the job and get out of here. Good night, Hinata. I hope you like the show in the morning. The next morning. The following morning in Konoha could only be described as pure chaos. All over the village, in trees, on the ground, hanging from just about everywhere you could think to look, was the entire Hyuga clan's clothing, from their signature cream-colored jackets to their unmentionables. While the entirety of the Hyuga clan was out gathering what was left of their pride, our blonde hero was sitting at his favorite restaurant enjoying a well-earned breakfast, the food of kings, ramen. Even though Naruto had just gone an entire night without sleep, here he was in the same clothes as the night before, except for the absence of the cloth covering his hair, wrappings around his face, and the addition of his signature orange jacket hanging open, showing off his tight black shirt. He also had his goggles hanging around his neck as he listened to the praise of his favorite chefs. I can't believe you actually did it, you little brat, was Tuchi's boisterous congratulations. Everyone is going to be talking about this one for years. Naruto, was the excited comment from Ayam. Ha ha ha, I hope so. What else would you expect from the next Hokage when he pulls a prank? Then, taking a more serious tone, Naruto said this was really meant to drop them down a few pegs though. Really, how does a prank do that? I understand having their clothes and, well, you know what's thrown all over the village being embarrassing, but how would it drop the view of their skills or reputation? The Hyuga are one of Konoha's 4 noble clans after all? Asked Tuchi as he handed Naruto another bowl of ramen. Well, it really means nothing to normal villagers, but as a funny prank. On the other hand, to trained shinobi it's a matter of village security. Not only was the compound of the most powerful clan infiltrated, but every room was entered and raided without notice, was Naruto's response with noodles hanging from his mouth. Okay, Naruto, but what does that prove other than that you're sneaky? Ayam asked with a grin while serving another customer. Well, let me answer your question with another one. If I could sneak into their compound to steal their clothes by entering every room one by one without being noticed, what's to stop me from sneaking in there and slitting their throats while they slept? When this was said, the entire restaurant went silent with shock. The few people that were in the building this early were listening intently to the legendary prankster's explanation of his masterpiece. Now, at the realization that an academy student, a legendary one, but an academy student nonetheless, could possibly wipe out the Hyuga in one night was alarming. It would be like the Uchiha all over again. If the demon brat could do this, then that else was capable of it. Even the most skilled of shinobi are powerless when asleep. Before anyone could say another word, a loud scream of, "I found him! He's over here!" came from just outside the shop. When Naruto peered out, he saw 2 Hyuga, 3 chunin, and 1 really pissed off looking Hyuga Hayashi. "Ha, hi guys, bye guys." And with that the chase was on. Throughout the village people could hear the screams of, "Get back here, brat! You won't escape this time, you've gone too far this time, Naruto." And of course his favorite, "Get the demon." Even with all this, Naruto couldn't help but have fun with the chase. "You losers are just jealous that you don't have the skill or guts to do what I do," called Naruto while jumping from building to building. "Get back here, Naruto. You will be taken to see the Hokage for punishment. If you give yourself up, your sentence will be reduced," came the cries of his pursuers. The chase had started at around 6 a.m. that morning and was already well into 8 o'clock, and they were still not even remotely close to capturing Naruto. "This kid is insane," yelled a branch member. "How can he have this kind of stamina?" Yelled another. "We never should have split up from the main group," yelled another. While the 2 chunin were having their strategy meeting, Naruto was having a nice breather on a high balcony. "These guys just won't give up. Normally I would just hide for a while to rest, but with Hyuga after me I can barely stop for 2 minutes before I'm found. At this rate I'll be caught for the first time." With this grim realization, Naruto decided to try and get to the academy as fast as he could, especially since his exam was supposed to be in an hour. Moving with the shadows, he headed in the direction of the academy, but before he could get more than 25 feet there was a cry of, "There he is!" As Naruto spun around, all he could do was yell his horror at what he was seeing. "Ah, fuck no!" he yelled. Standing in the direction he had just come from was a group of 9 Hyuga guards, 6 chunin, 2 ANBU, numerous random villagers, and what looked like at least 15 Hyuga females with a kill you painfully look in their eyes. With that sight and a large amount of fear, he was off. At around 9 a.m. Naruto had finally lost them by using every trick he knew. Every shortcut, dead-end, camouflage, henge, substitution, and, to his great displeasure, he had even resorted to using his sexy jutsu. He had only really created that jutsu to improve his skill with henge and to prank Irika. He had never dreamed one day he'd be relying on it. As Naruto was slipping around the last corner on his way to the academy, he let out a breath of relief, saying, "I finally made it. I knew those idiots could never catch me." From behind Naruto came a calm and slightly mocking voice. "Oh really, Naruto, what are you doing being late for class? And not only that, but you almost missed your exam." If Hayashi's glaring, a group of murderous women, an actual ANBU chasing after him had been scary, then this was just plain terrifying. With a scream of fright and a 12-foot jump in the air, Naruto spun around and pointed at his sensei, yelling, "How do you always do that?" Looking at Naruto with a bored expression, Irika just grabbed him by the collar of his jacket and disappeared in a puff of smoke with a pair of ANBU right on his tail. Ninja Academy, his classroom. Inside the classroom, all of the students were chatting amongst themselves on various topics, waiting for the exam to start. The main topic, though, was of course the great Hyuga humiliation questions of, how could that happen? Who did it? And aren't the Hyuga supposed to be all-seeing? Were just a few that flew about the room as the children continued. Some of the more arrogant in the room would reply with foolish ideas like, "It must be another hidden village trying to prove something." Or, "It must be a new invisibility jutsu, and the Hyugas were the test." Or, "No, it's got to be some new kind of Kekai Genkai that can block the Hyuga power." After about 20 minutes of the students' minds running wild, Irika puffed into the room with Naruto by the scruff of his neck, followed by the 2 ANBU that were escorting them, ready to grab Naruto at a moment's notice. At the entrance of these 4, everyone went silent to watch what would take place, as well as observe Naruto's change of clothes. The first thing the students notice is the long black ANBU-style pants that end with wrappings and modified black shinobi sandals with red trim. Next they see the long-sleeved skin-tight black shirt and fingerless gloves, as well as his signature orange jacket. He also wore his goggles around his neck, making his hair appear longer, and it flowed around his face slightly. It hung lower and made him look older and more serious to some. Or it could just be the air of tension with 2 ANBU in the room. Many girls blushed at the sight of the slightly toned muscles that shone through the tight shirt. Since most of the boys wear such baggy clothes, it's a rare sight for them. But what catches everyone's eyes the most are the chains attached to Naruto's wrists, ankles, neck, and all connecting to a plate on his chest with multiple chakra suppression seals on it. At this realization, everyone knew Naruto had done something big. The academy doesn't teach seals because they are considered high-level techniques and often dangerous. It does, however, teach to recognize common ones, such as exploding note seals, basic seals for items to be stored, and scrolls for travel, and the seals on those cuffs used on dangerous nukenin. "Don't you think this is a little excessive, ANBU?" asked Irika with a frown. With all due respect, Irika, it took nearly 20 Hyuga, 8 chunin, for Jonin and the 2 of us ANBU to apprehend him, said the rat-masked ANBU. What? How could the doe be that strong? They needed that many high-level shinobi to catch him? Was the unbelieving thought of most of the students. Showing off his skills, how would he maintain his position for the dead last? But what did he do this time, and why the hell didn't he tag me on it? It must be something big, or this must, damn you Naruto, Sasuke thought. If it was not for the Hokage's order to turn him over to you for his exam, he would be in a class 3 holding cell waiting for his sentence, was the calm reply from the bear-masked ANBU. I understand that, but with these chakra cuffs on there is no way for Naruto to take the exam. I would ask you to please remove them and leave him in my care. I will take full responsibility in making sure he appears for his hearing with the Hokage tomorrow, Irika forcefully suggested with a rather familiar glare to the 2 ANBU. I'm not sure about this. What if he runs again? Rat asked with uncertainty in his voice. Unless you already forgot, ANBU, I was the one who finally caught him after you all failed for over 3 hours, said a smirking Irika. After a moment of silence, the bear ANBU did a number of hand seals, too fast for any one of the students to follow, and removed the cuffs. He's your responsibility now. Don't come crying to us if he gets loose, Bear plainly said. Thank you ANBU, and don't worry, I'll take care of him, Irika said, placing a hand on Naruto's head. Oh, by the way, kid? Rat inquired. Was Naruto's rather lethargic reply. Nice job on the Hyuga. I don't think even we could have pulled that off, said the rat ANBU, clearly impressed with the boy. After the rat ANBU said those words, the entire class collectively dropped their jaws on the floor, and the collective thought in the room was, Naruto did that. I've known Hayashi for a long time, and I have never seen him that mad, embarrassed, or impressed. Bear murmured in the same voice. Impressed? Naruto asked, unsure. Yeah, kid, when you're at the top like the Hyuga are, it takes something big for them to notice anything. This prank of yours really caught his attention, said Rat in a sing-song voice. By the way, how did you do it anyway? Irika asked. Now every person in the room was listening intently with their own thoughts on the matter. Stupid Naruto, you're so immature, yelled Sakura. He is Cha, yelled inner Sakura. Naruto looks kind of hot in his new clothes and longer hair. I wonder what he would look like with highlights, spoke Ino quietly. This is too troublesome, spoke Shikamaru. I wonder, Munch, if I can use, Munch, the same method to sneak into the kitchen? Munch, spoke Choji. Stupid Naruto, he's hogging all the attention. I'll get Akamaru to bite him later, yelled Kiba. Interesting, spoke Shino. Thank you for not doing that to me, Naruto. I would have died of embarrassment. Wait. Naruto was in my room. I'm going to die. Did he find anything? Nothing of mine was missing. Wait, a pair of my panties were unfolded. Naruto was touching my panties. The person who thought this blushed dangerously red before passing out with a nosebleed. How could he do something like that? The Hyuga were always the Uchiha's rivals. Why didn't he tag me on it? Maybe I could use the same method for a sneak attack on my brother? Damn you Naruto, why didn't you tag me on this one? Why, thought Sasuke. I don't want to sound arrogant like some teams, he said, sending a glare at a certain black-eyed boy, but to tell you the truth, it really wasn't that hard. When I first decided to do it, I was worried, but after a few hours of watching the security, it really wasn't anything special. Naruto caught the entire room's attention when he said this. They all were just too shocked to do anything but listen. Hokage office. In the Hokage Tower, the third Hokage, Hyuga Hayashi, the village elites, and the majority of the Council of Elders all listened to the whole discussion going on in Irika's classroom over the third's crystal ball with interest. Interesting, how is it that this boy was able to sneak into the Hyuga and then call it easy? Asked an intrigued red-eyed Jonin. Well, let's continue listening and we can find our answers, said the Hokage with interest lacing his voice. It seems your daughter has just fainted, Hayashi. Hayashi sighs. It would seem so, Lord Hokage. I need to solve this problem with her soon before the elder's patience runs out. Lord Hokage, do you really think it wise to let the boy go free? And even take the exam? A random Jonin, with a scar along his jaw, almost screamed. After a deep sigh, it was simply a prank. Even though we, as shinobi, see it as more of a threat to village security, to him it's just his version of revenge, said the Hokage with annoyance. See? Said the man frantically, the fox is after us, and it's starting with the Hyuga to weaken us before it attacks. We must kill it before it's too late. We never should have let it live so long, said the same scarred Jonin from before. In an instant the legendary professor was in front of the man, and in an icy voice that sent a shiver down everyone's spine and reminded them just who their Hokage was by the rather noticeable killing intent being emitted. I have put up with closed-minded fools like you on this matter for far too long now. If you are a shinobi who does not possess the skills to see the difference between a hero and a demon, then you have no business as a Konoha nin. The Hokage turned around and headed for his desk. Leave now and put your forehead protector on my desk on your way out, was the flat command after the killing intent had dispersed. Lord Hokage, you can't be serious, said the stuttering Jonin. Either that or take your time with Marino Ibiki, replied the Hokage. What? Said the Jonin in horror at the idea of being at the mercy of the rumored sadist that commanded the interrogations and intelligence division. You broke the law, replied the Hokage. With this simple statement, everyone knew what the Hokage meant. He may show leniency to the villagers for their barbs of demon or monster, as long as they don't touch Naruto, but for shinobi he has never been lenient on the subject. Please quiet down. I would like to hear how a 12-year-old academy student infiltrated my home, was Hayashi's calm request. Quite, I actually am very interested as well, Kakashi added while looking over the edge of his ever-present book. As the scarred shinobi left the room, leaving his forehead protector on the table, he scowled while vowing to him, I'll get you, demon. Iruka's classroom. Well, Naruto, how'd you do it? Iruka asked a second time. I'm not sure I want to say, was Naruto's shaky reply. Why don't you, Naruto? Asked Iruka with slight irritation. It's one thing that I was able to do it for a prank sensei, but I don't want just anyone to be able to do the same. I mean, the Hyuga are a bunch of stuck-up teams, but they're still Konoha shinobi, replied Naruto. Really now, is that true? Was the simple comment from the Berry and Bu. Yeah, I mean I was only after their clothes to play a prank, but what if a foreign shinobi was sent to kill them? With the knowledge of what I say now, they could all be gone by morning, couldn't they? Naruto said, looking down. Hokage's office. So I guess Naruto wasn't as clueless to what this prank could mean as I thought, stated the Hokage with a slight cough, a little embarrassment in his voice. Correct, Lord Hokage, but it is of utmost importance that I learn how he did it so I can correct my security problem, Hayashi said with the classic Hyuga indifference firmly in place. Just give Iruka his time. I'm sure he'll get it out of him. Naruto may be more than he appears, but he is still a lonely and hurt 12-year-old looking for attention. The chance of getting any kind of positive attention for once will be too tempting for him to resist, one chain-smoking Jonin added. Do you really think it's that simple? Hayashi asked with a raised eyebrow as his only expression of curiosity. Naruto has always wanted a family or at least a friend, but even something as simple as a friend has been denied to him by the villagers. The only thing that seems to keep him going is the hope for the future, and his dream. He strives to prove to them that he is something other than what they see, even though he doesn't know what they see him as. If he ever found out what it is they see when they look at him, the Hokage closed his eyes as if in deep thought. What, Lord Hokage? Asked the red-eyed Jonin with honest concern. I'm afraid we may lose him. With that said, the Hokage returned to staring into the glowing crystal. Iruka's classroom. Naruto, don't you think it's better to let others know of their flaws? That way they can be fixed instead of letting them stay that way. If the Hyuga can be so easily infiltrated, it could be a danger to the village, Iruka said with sincerity in his voice. While this was being asked, Hinata was waking from a rather exciting dream of Naruto to hearing the current conversation's direction. Naruto, you're amazing. I can't believe you were able to do it, or that you were in my room doing what I think you were. With that thought, the images of Hinata's recent dream passed through her head and almost sent her into blissful unconsciousness again. Alright, but if I'm going to go through all this, why don't you get one of the head Hyuga here so they can hear it as well? I don't want to repeat this again, was Naruto's defeated reply. At that moment there was a puff of smoke to signify someone entering, and not just any Hyuga had appeared. It was Hayashi himself in all his emotionless glory. Please continue. I am most interested in how a lowly academy student was able to enter not only my home, but my own bedchamber unnoticed. Dad is here. Naruto, I hope you will be alright, thought Hinata as she looked on with worry. Shit, well, I was hoping not to see you until the hearing, and I don't appreciate being called lowly by you, Naruto said with a very foxy grin. Why is that, Naruto? Asked Hayashi. Well, first, I am the one who got past those so-called all-seeing eyes of yours, so I doubt that I'm lowly. Also, it's normally not a good thing to be in the same room as the man whose boxers you hung from the Hokage tower, said Naruto with the foxy grin still in place. As he said this, he pointed out a window, and lo and behold, hanging from the heights of the tower are a string of about 15 pairs of cream-collared boxers, one of which had orange spots on them. Hayashi's face light up a bright red, followed by giggles from the class. He then gave Naruto a glare that made the entire class, especially Hinata, cringe. Please tell me, Naruto, why you found the need to humiliate not only myself but my entire clan. A hint of anger entering his voice. Alright, I guess I could tell you. While Naruto's mouth went on autopilot, retelling the events of 2 nights ago outside Ichiraku Ramen, his mind was busy sorting through all the information he had on his classmates to make sure it was all right to tell them about his trip into the compound. Sasuke, I have not told him, so he might be angry, but he won't do so. He only want to kill Itachi. Shikamaru, it would be too troublesome for him to do so. Choji, no, he can't do anything. Kiba, no, he don't have the guts for it. Sakura, She doesn't fit to be a kunoichi. Ino, no, her dad won't let her do anything. Rest of them I don't think it would be problem, thought Naruto. May as well just get this over with, was how Naruto finished his thoughts before catching up with his mouth. 3 Hyugas attacked me with their jutsu, and after that strange jutsu was over I was unconscious for about 20 to 35 minutes. Once I woke up, old man Tucci and Ayam told me that the other two had thrown me in the dumpster next to the stand before leaving. It took me about another 15 minutes before I could feel my chakra normally. Then once I could move I headed off to plan my revenge, prank. Naruto finished his explanation with a little slip of the tongue. You recovered from 8 trigrams 64 palms in only 35 minutes, was the shock statement from Iruka. As Naruto looked around the room he could see the ANBU had tensed, Hayashi was glaring at him, and Hinata was looking starstruck, all of which made him somewhat curious. Is that special or something? I was kind of out of it at the time because of the strike to my head, but the jutsu didn't seem that powerful. When Naruto finished he heard a sharp intake of breath from a few select people. Naruto, that jutsu is one of the 5 strongest jutsu the Hyuga clan possesses. While we do possess much stronger ones, it normally takes a person at least a week to recover from a direct hit like you received. For you to do it in less than an hour, with no medical attention, is impressive. Though he was truly thinking it was impossible, even though he was looking at the proof right in front of him, you do realize if you had come to me with this I would have dealt with them myself. You didn't have to punish my whole clan for the crimes of 3. Hayashi said a little reluctantly. What? Asked Naruto, honestly confused about what Hayashi meant. It is against clan law to use any of our high-level jutsu in such a way. They are only to be used in serious situations, and a street brawl is defiantly not a serious situation. After your punishment I would like you to point them out, said Hayashi while glaring. Not only had the offending Hyuga broken clan laws, but they committed assault, possibly treason, and may have broken the Third's law as well. Their fate would be up to the Hokage if they broke that law. Naruto looked serious for a second. Okay, how about we leave it at that and I finish my explanation? It's already 10:15 and I still need to take the exam, said Naruto while sweat dropping. That's right. I'm sorry Hayashi, but I will have to ask you to leave, pleaded Iruka. My apologies Iruka, but until I hear the explanation I will not be leaving, stated Hayashi, believing Iruka did not understand the seriousness of the situation. You will be attending the hearing to decide Naruto's punishment, won't you? Asked Iruka. Of course, how could I not? Replied Hayashi. Well, he will have to explain it again in front of the council anyway, so you can hear it tomorrow with the rest. I'm sorry, but I really need to start the exam right now, Iruka said forcefully. After glaring at one another for a moment, Hayashi finally decided to back down for the time being. Very well, Iruka. I will see you in the council meeting tomorrow, Naruto. With that, Hayashi puffs out of the room. After some murmuring from the students, Iruka began the long process of regaining control of his students. Hokage's office. You disappeared rather quickly, Hyuga, Kakashi said in a bored tone. Well, if the boy was going to need a Hyuga present to tell his story to, why not the head of the clan? Said Hayashi with a raised eyebrow. I suppose, but I believe it was a good thing Naruto held off telling everyone. I don't believe this is something an academy class needs to hear. As soon as the hearing takes place and he's made his statement, I will classify this as a top-secret village security issue, said the Hokage in all seriousness. If that is what you think is best, Lord Hokage, Hayashi stated in a relaxed tone. You are all dismissed for today. The ones who need to be at the hearing know who you are. I expect you there by 10 a.m. Kakashi, don't be late, or I will outlaw Jiraiya's smut, replied the Hokage. With that, everyone filed out of the Hokage's office, leaving the wizened leader to his own thoughts once again. You're just one surprise after another, Naruto. I wonder what headache you will create for me next. Hopefully it will be one that won't require as much paperwork. Damn paperwork, thought the Hokage as he pulled out his own copy of Ika Paradise, making sure he was alone. Iruka's classroom. Alright Naruto, please take your seat so we can start. I will now explain the exam. We're running close on time, so please hold any questions until the end of the explanation. After Iruka had said this, Mizuki walked through the door with a couple of sacks and a stopwatch. Iruka, what's going on? They haven't even started the written test yet? They should be ready for the practical exams by now, was Mizuki's clipped reply. Well, we became a little held up, so we're behind by about 30 minutes, Iruka said this, sending a glance at Naruto for Mizuki to follow. After some annoyed glaring at Naruto from Mizuki, he said, well, I suppose that's all right. I'll pass out the test while you explain it to them, Mizuki said while putting down the bags. Thanks, this test will come in 5 parts to determine what you have learned in your time in the academy, and make sure you can function properly in the real world. You were not only taught shinobi skills here, you were taught the basics of life. Correct, Iruka-sensei. Even though you will not fail because of low scores in some areas of the exam, if you can't perform at least the basics well enough, you will definitely fail, was Mizuki's comment as he passed out the tests. Correct, Mizuki, the test will be given in this order. First will be the written test on information such as geography, history, math, and tactics. Next will be the weapons test of kunai and shuriken. After that will be the obstacle course to test your ability to detect traps and your stealth ability. Next will be the taijutsu test. Finally, you will be tested on the jutsu taught in the academy. More information will be given before each section begins. Any questions, anyone? After no one raises their hand, Irika continues on. Alright, you will have 45 minutes for this test starting now. Any cheating and you will automatically fail. Later outside the academy. Damn, that was rough. I didn't know I was that bad with things like history. Other than the geography, I could barely answer any of the questions on that test, said Naruto to himself looking down. It's okay, Naruto, the written portion isn't really a requirement as long as you don't completely flunk, it's alright. Irika tried to reassure him. Thanks, sensei, but I think I really should have paid more attention. I thought I was better than that. Mizuki then called out, attention everyone. Next will be the weapons test. Each of you will receive 8 kunai and shuriken. You will be required to at least hit 4 vital points with each weapon, any less will be a failure. 2 will go at a time. First up. As the testing went on, with no true order to the names called, students threw their weapons with no one getting higher than a 12 out of a possible 16. Then Mizuki called out, last 2, Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke went up and threw 6 kunai and then 6 shuriken. All shuriken hit the bullseye and he got the perfect score, but only 4 kunai hit the spot while the remaining 2 were inches away from the bullseye. With this, he was now the rookie of the year again. He knew that one of his shuriken was about to hit the tree and not the target. Then he remembered Naruto holding a stone. So it was you who helped me in that shuriken. I should have guessed you promised to keep me rookie of the year, thought Sasuke, and turned towards the blonde and spoke good luck and lipped thanks for help. Naruto easily understood what he said as he was able to read his lip moment. Naruto knew that he flunked the written test and to pass he has to do average in this. With that, he picked up 6 shuriken and threw them. All shuriken hit the bullseye and he got the perfect score. Everybody was shocked to see this, and they all thought that how easily he did it. Show off, thought Sasuke. No, Naruto idiot can't beat my Sasuke, yelled Sakura. Every boy's sweat dropped at hearing that, while the girls were all screaming the same thing that Sakura screamed. Oh Naruto, I knew you could do it, thought Hinata. He continued this and picked up 6 kunai and threw them, and everybody excluding Sasuke and Hinata burst out laughing. What they expected was that this time also every target will be hit, and they all were watching very seriously, but something different happened. Everybody saw Irika and Mizuki pinned to the wall with 2 kunai underneath their arm, tugged through their clothes to the wooden wall, and the remaining 2 kunai on the bullseye. At this, both Irika and Mizuki shouted, "Are you trying to kill us, Naruto?" And Mizuki thought, "I am going to get you for this demon." Oh, sorry for that, Irika-sensei and Mizuki-sensei. You see, my hand slipped. With that, he turned towards Sasuke, who had a smirk on his face, and lip matched this Sasuke, showing off his skills again. But that was quite impressive to hung them both on the wall and to hit 2 target at the exact same point, and then to also hit the bullseye. His skills have improved greatly, was the though going to Sasuke's mind. Hokage office. The Hokage, along with some Jonin and some A and B, was watching through the crystal ball of the Hokage, and some were confused while some had a smirk on their face, showing off his skills again. But that was quite impressive to hung them both on the wall and to hit 2 target at the exact same point, and then to also hit the bullseye. His skills have improved greatly, was the though going to Hokage's mind at the exact same point as it was going through Sasuke's mind. Impressive to hung them both on the wall and to hit 2 target at the exact same point, and then to also hit the bullseye. His skills have improved greatly, spoke a spiky-haired Jonin. What is so impressive about that, Kakashi? He missed the real targets, spoke a red-eyed Jonin. Yes, indeed, he missed the real target, but it's because he chose to change his targets. He hit both Irika and Mizuki on purpose, and can you see they both had the kunai tugged on the same spot on both their arms, and even the distance is same, explained Kakashi. Yes, Kurenai, Kakashi is right, he hit them on purpose. No one knows his real skills, leaving me, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Naruto himself. I can only tell that he and Sasuke are both chunin level ninja right now. They are only playing there, just to live their childhood, spoke the Hokage. But Lord Hokage, then why Naruto is the dead last of the academy, asked Kurenai. That's because he chose to. He wants to be on the same team as Sasuke, and he knew the rules and regulation of the academy, and he also know he basis of team arrangement, replied the Hokage. And you are going to let them be on the same team and do nothing about it, asked Kurenai. Other children's parents can influence the team formation, but they don't have parents, and I, being Hokage, cannot do that for them. So in a way, to answer your question, yes, I am going to do nothing about it, and furthermore, Kakashi wants to take both of them on his team, and the council will overthrow him if the academy declares something else, explained the Hokage. Kurenai asked no further questions about that and left with a satisfied look on her face, and after her, the Hokage office was cleared for tomorrow's event. The next day, the council chamber. The hearing for Naruto begins. He explained everything from start to the end, and Hayashi dropped the matter, stating that the mistake was of his own clan members, and he will be taking actions against the. Some more clan heads took Naruto's side, overthrowing the rest of the council, and with that he was released without any punishment. Chapter 4: Academic Field Day. 6 months later, mid-session of the 4th year of Ninja Academy. Over the 6 months, there was a slight change in Naruto's character. He started reading perverted books mainly known as Ika series. Sasuke do not like this, but he can't do anything about it, but at time he takes his training seriously. Flashback. Naruto was walking towards a bookstore to get something to read to pass his time, and he was having thoughts about Hinata and her panties. He didn't understand a thing about it, so he decided to do some research. Inside the bookstore, he checked some books under the adult section using Henge and found a book called Ika and began reading it. It was the first book of the series and he kind of liked it. End of flashback. Ninja Academy. At the Ninja Academy, all of the students were of various age groups were gathered together outside in the training yard. Many chunin teachers, the headmaster, and even the Hokage were there. Today everyone was gathered together outside to demonstrate their newly learned jutsu or fighting styles, be it from the academy or their respective clan. Many of the would-be genins were all talking and conversing with each other about how they intend to prove their strengths to whomever their opponent was. Sasuke was brooding by himself to the side with most of the girls of this age group drooling over him, all but one Hinata Hyuga, whose eyes and heart was drawn to the class clown and village pariah, Naruto Uzumaki. Speaking of Naruto, he was off to the side hiding behind a tree reading a book of some sort, one of a series of books he had to keep from being found. Hinata couldn't help but notice that a blush would frequently appear on Naruto's face with a couple of giggles escaping his mouth when he read those books. I wonder what he could be reading in those books, Hinata wondered, but never grew the courage to ask him personally. It must be an interesting book. Hinata wasn't the only eyeing Naruto. At another spot, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Hokage, was looking over at Naruto, who distanced himself away from the rest of the class. Not for the same reasons as Sasuke, but because he was up to one of his mischievous antics. It was no secret to Hiruzen what Naruto was reading, even though he wondered what triggered Naruto's complete change in character 5 months ago. Attention everyone, Iruka said, grabbing everyone's attention. Please assemble with your class as we're about to commence today's event, the Academy Field Day. Despite being engrossed in his book, Naruto closed and put his book away before making his way back to his class. As he did so, Sakura and Ino, along with some of the other girls, were competing over who was going to stand next to Sasuke, much to the other boys' and teachers' annoyance. All of you please knock it off and give the headmaster and Hokage a professional impression of yourselves, Iruka berated. You all are future ninjas of this village, so please play the part professionally. That got them to quiet down and pay attention up front. You certainly have a way with words, Iruka, Hiruzen remarked with a chuckle. Iruka scratched the back of his head with a small grin. Nah, Iruka replied, I'm just trying to help them become the best ninjas our village can produce. Such modesty, the headmaster commented as he made his way over to Iruka and Hiruzen. The headmaster himself was a BA class Jonin ninja. I'm honored that you chose to be present for today's event despite your very busy schedule, Lord Hokage, the headmaster said. Well, Hiruzen said, even I need a break from all of my work. Besides, I personally wanted to see the progress everyone has made so far while attending the academy. I made lots and lots of progress, old man, Naruto yelled enthusiastically, just you wait. After today, you'll be begging to pass down that Hokage hat and robe to me as your successor. Believe it! Knock it off, Naruto, Sakura yelled, this is not a time for one of your jokes. If anything, Sasuke has a better chance at the title Hokage than you do. Isn't that right, Sasuke? Shut up, Sakura, you are annoying, and it is Naruto's dream to become Hokage, and I am sure he will become one, Sasuke grunted with his hands in his pants pocket. Well, Naruto, Hiruzen smiled, I'm sure with Iruka's helping you've made some improvements. So please do your best. And that goes for all of you here. All of the students nodded their heads. The headmaster stepped forward to address the students. The purpose of the Academy Field Day is to gauge the progress not only you as future ninjas have made but all to access where your strongest and weakest points are and how we can work on strengthening where your weaknesses are. Those with weaknesses aren't fit to be ninjas, Sasuke remarked, they'll just get killed in a real battle. Sakura, Naruto remarked, what was that comment about Sasuke making Hokage before I do? Because I doubt that old man would name someone as cold and arrogant as him as his successor. Don't talk about Sasuke like that, another girl said before Sakura could give a retort to Naruto. But that's quite right actually, those who are weak will just get killed in the field, replied Naruto, earning a nod from everyone. Everyone stop this petty argument and stay focused on the purpose of today's activities, the headmaster stated firmly. He waited until he had everyone's attention. Good, the headmaster said, now, we'll start with taijutsu. You'll all be given a spar partner and demonstrate your taijutsu skills. No weapons, ninjutsu, or genjutsu will be allowed during your taijutsu match. Disobedience to this rule will result in immediate disciplinary actions. After your taijutsu will be your match in the use of weapons. Seriously injuring anyone is not permitted. Third will be your ninjutsu match. Is there any questions? Is all this troublesome fights between classmates really necessary? Shikamaru asked in a bored voice. At least show some enthusiasm in performing in front of your Hokage, Shikamaru, Mizuki said. Shikamaru simply shrugged. Next to him Choji was eating a bag of potato chips. Now we'll divide and pair each of you with your sparring opponents, Iruka said. First match, Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. Okay, Sasuke said. Alright, Naruto cheered excitedly. I'm first to show old man how far I came in my training. The only thing you'll show is how far your training will crash you down to the ground on your face, Naruto. Kiba mocked, causing everyone to start laughing at Naruto. Shut up, Naruto retorted. At least I know when to take showers so as to not smell like the pets you sleep with. Now everyone was laughing at Kiba, who was now fuming at Naruto. Why you? Kiba, that's enough, Iruka yelled. The same goes for you too, Naruto. Now Sasuke, Naruto, step forward and give each other the tradition shinobi greeting, a sign to show good sportsmanship and no hostility. Naruto and Sasuke both made their way to the front where the match was to be held. Naruto made the hand sign of friendship and Sasuke shook his hand and then took their position. Show the dead last a thing or two, Sasuke, Ino yelled. Don't take that crap from him, Sasuke, Sakura yelled. Many of the other girls and even some of the boys were cheering Sasuke on to pummel Naruto. Hinata was the only one in the background cheering Naruto on, though not as audibly as everyone else who was cheering for Sasuke. Naruto turned and looked at Sasuke's fan club with disgust and irritation. Hiruzen sighed to himself seeing such displays before him. He knew that if both the boys showed their original strength, the fight would be interesting to watch, but he knew that it wasn't going to happen. He knew that Naruto will show some of his skills, but in the end he would lose to Sasuke. It was all going according to Naruto's plan. Sasuke, Naruto, Iruka said, be professional about this before your Hokage. Now prepare to spar. Sasuke said nothing as he assumed his battle stance. Naruto stood there as though he knew of no stance to take. Everyone in the crowd expected to see a quick match, with Naruto as the obvious loser. Ready, Iruka said, begin. As expected, Naruto charged headfirst to Sasuke at a fast speed. He threw a quick right punch at Sasuke, which was easily avoided, as Sasuke sidestepped Naruto to the left. Predictable, Sasuke mocked as the maneuver caused Naruto to seemingly trip forward, making him appear like he was about to fall to the ground. Things changed, however, as Naruto turned on his right foot and swiftly brought and swung his left foot up, effectively catching Sasuke's face in his range as he, Sasuke, passed him by. Sasuke was sent spinning and sailing to the ground with a facial bruise and busted lip as Naruto managed to regain his balance, keep from falling to the ground. Everyone was left stunned and utterly speechless after seeing how Naruto within mere seconds made a fool out of the now dazed and humbled Sasuke, who was struggling to get back up while nursing the injury Naruto just inflicted on him. Did that just happen? Shikamaru asked, too shocked to believe what he and everyone else saw. That's what I'm trying to believe, Choji remarked. He caught Sasuke completely off guard, Shino commented, an outcome I was not expecting at the very least. It was a lucky shot, Ino replied in denial. There's no way Naruto could have hit Sasuke that easily. It was just a case of extreme dumb luck. Regardless of what was being said, Hinata looked very happy and pleased that Naruto won the first match against Sasuke, though she never expected it to end so soon in Naruto's favor. First blood and round 1 goes to me, Sasuke, Naruto said with a large grin. Ready for round 2? Naruto then gave a look to Sasuke stating, why didn't you did something? It was not that difficult. Sasuke got back up and spat blood to the floor and give him look which stated, you caught me off guard. What the hell was I supposed to do? The pain from the assault was still biting where he was struck, with blood still trickling down from his busted lip. You're going to regret that, Sasuke replied in exiting voice as they got back in his fighting stance. Ready when you are, Naruto said. Iruka began the next match between the two boys. Naruto and Sasuke engaged in combat again, but after 3 minutes it ended with Naruto being flipped and tossed down to the ground on his back with Sasuke standing over him. All of the girls, but Hinata, cheered for Sasuke, while the guys laughed at Naruto. I told you it was dumb luck that Naruto won that time, Ino said. There's no way Naruto would have beaten Sasuke that easily, another girl said. But Naruto didn't take as long to win the first match with a single blow, Hinata thought out loud, which caught all of the students' attention, including Sasuke's. That much is true, Hinata, Hiruzen spoke up, earning the attention of those hearing him. During the first match, Naruto gave the deceptive display that he was attacking foolhardy and recklessness. But from what we saw, Naruto's moves were clearly timed and calculated to the letter, totally catching Sasuke off guard. I'm led to believe that Naruto had it all planned out. Hearing that acknowledgement made Naruto's spirit soar the skies. Hokage and Hinata both were giving him positive attention. But Sasuke came back and gave Naruto a good bout, Hokage added, In the past surely Naruto would have lost easily to Sasuke. But from what I'm seeing, Naruto has truly came a long way and improved if Sasuke is being made to take Naruto serious. Everyone knew that Hiruzen wasn't saying those things just to stroke Naruto's ego, or to make the blonde look good in front of everyone. Hokage was telling the truth. Turning to Naruto, Hiruzen said seriously, "But don't in any way let what I said go to your head, Naruto." "Of course I won't, old man," Naruto said as he stood back up. "I'm just happy that you're proud of my improvements." Sasuke knew everything and he was smirking inwards that they are that great that they can fool everyone. "We are holding back everything and then they are amazed to watch our match. If we fight with our full strength, the whole village would be shocked. I doubt even some chunin would be able to fight us," thought Sasuke. "Okay everyone," the headmaster said, "we'll next move on to our next two opponents." The sparring sessions continued until all of students had their turns. Some of the matches ended in a draw while others either won or forfeited after being overpowered or outmatched. "Good job everyone," Iruka said. "Next up, weaponry. Each of you may select a weapon of choice, whether it's a kunai or shuriken." The students were led to the tables that held the mentioned weapons. After selecting their weapons of choice, the students were told that they would be taking turning attacking the human-shaped wooden dummy posts. Some were able to hit bull's eyes while Sasuke managed to hit all directed areas on target dummy. Naruto came up next and with his first kunai, he aimed and threw it at the practice dummy, only for the kunai to be deeply embedded into the dummy's crotch. The males that saw this couldn't help but mentally put their hands over their crotch, some literally. "You missed the objective area to strike, Naruto," Iruka said while hiding the cringe that wanted to appear on his face. "I know," Naruto replied, "but at the very least I castrated him in the worst way. If that dummy was real, he'd die horribly and painfully." Iruka and the others couldn't argue against that, though none of them would want to die such an agonizing death. "Next time aim for the heart or skull," Iruka said. "It might help if you visualize an enemy in place of that dummy post." "That was why I aimed between the legs in the first place," Naruto remarked. Iruka blinked and looked at Naruto again. What kind of enemy did he visualize? Iruka wondered. Showing off again, I should have guessed he would hit that when he is reading all that the entire time, but it would be quite effective. It's good he don't do that to me in the practice. I would hate to be in that place, thought Sasuke. Later that day, after the students were allowed to take a break and go for lunch, they returned back to the training yard. "All right everyone," Iruka said, "we're now at the third and final part of today's event. Each of you will demonstrate one of your most effective or strongest ninjutsu. They can be those learned from the academy or from your respective clans. Keep in mind that this third event is not to be used as an opportunity to show anyone off. If your ninjutsu requires a target, one of our instructors will volunteer to be used. However, no fatal jutsus are to be used on anyone, am I clear?" All of the students nodded. "Naruto Shikamaru," Iruka called out, "please step forward and demonstrate a ninjutsu." Shikamaru shrugged with a bored expression and performed a henge, changing himself into the Hokage. "I find today's events to be troublesome and a bother for all of us here," Shikamaru said, imitating Hiruzen's voice. "I decree that you all can leave and go cloud watching for all I care." Naruto and the others started laughing and cracking up at Shikamaru's antics. Iruka was all but amused, though Hiruzen took it in good humor as a chuckle escaped his mouth. "All right Shikamaru," Iruka said, "you did good." Shikamaru dropped the henge and walked back to Choji. "Nice one Shikamaru," Choji said. "I'd have done the same but you beat me to the punch," Naruto added. "I was just expressing how I feel at this point," Shikamaru replied. Most of the students performed one of the jutsus they learned at the academy. For Sakura, she performed clone jutsu, and Ino performed one of her clan's jutsus and took control of one of the adults' bodies for a few seconds before returning back to her own body. After several students went, Sasuke went and took his turn. "All right Sasuke," Iruka instructed, "please perform a ninjutsu of your choosing." Sasuke simply nodded without saying a word. Going over to one of the wooden target poles, Sasuke performed a few hand signs and fired a fireball from his mouth straight into the wooden pole, effectively setting it on fire. All of the girls cheered while Hinata, though not among the cheering girls, admitted that it was an impressive jutsu. The other boys were also impressed while Naruto just looked bored. "Very good as always Sasuke," Iruka said, "well done." "That was nothing," Naruto stated. "I created a powerful jutsu that will effectively take all of you out with a single blow, leaving all of you in heaps of your own blood." "You're all talk Naruto," one of the students remarked. "Quit wasting our time with your garbage." "Don't believe me," Naruto shot back. "Fine. Let me go next and I'll demonstrate my new creation." "Fine," Iruka said with annoyance, "just get on with it." Naruto hurried and stepped forward. "All of you ninjas watched closely, and including you old man," Naruto said with a mischievous smile. From the smile alone, Hiruzen knew that Naruto was up something, and by something, he knew it was going to be a stunt he was going to regret allowing to take place. Hinata was curious as to what jutsu it was that was as lethal as Naruto declared that he created by him. I bet Naruto screws up in just the attempt, Kiba joked. We all know he sucks at even creating a perfect clone and doing a henge the right way. The students started laughing while Naruto ignored them. Alright now, Naruto said, prepared to be taken out. He said with a wide smirk. Sasuke immediately guessed what he was about to do, and though oh no not that again, but before he could thought a single word, he saw Naruto gathering the required chakra. Naruto clasped his hands together, and made a hand sign before bursting into a cloud of smoke. He prepared himself for the impact. As the smoke cleared, excuse me, said a new, very sweet and shy-like feminine voice in the clearing smoke. When the smoke cleared, it revealed an extremely beautiful long-haired blonde young woman with large breasts, completely soaked with water with the remaining smoke covering only parts of her breasts and genitals. The nude female asked shyly and nervously, I lost my clothes and I'm cold from the pouring rain. Would one of you men please be so kind as to use your body to keep me warm? The result was instantaneous and extremely effective. Males of various ages and ranks were blown back and off their feet from nasal blood loss, and the Hokage himself was no exception. True to his words, many of the ninjas were knocked out with blood coming out of their noses. Naruto dispelled the jutsu, seeing that it accomplished its designed purpose. Sexy jutsu, Naruto laughed. I warned you that my new jutsu is dangerous. I can effortlessly kill all of you right now in the comatose state I put all of you in. The girls weren't amused at all by the stunt Naruto pulled just a moment ago. But they were even angrier at how Naruto proved his point as he pulled out his kunai and acted as though he was slitting the throats of all of the knocked out males as he hurriedly passed them by, though he only gave each of them a small cut on their neck. Though Hinata was impressed that Naruto was able to knock out all of the ninjas around him, however, she too frowned at the method in which he did so. The girls were expecting the older kunoichis to lash out against Naruto for what he did, but were surprised that they didn't do anything to reprimand him. Aren't any of you kunoichis going to punish him? Ino screeched. That perverted stunt he pulled was very effective, one of the kunoichi interjected. It even knocked out the Hokage. Never knew the old man of his stature is as big a pervert as all the other men in Konoha, remarked another kunoichi. Girlfriend, where have you been? Whispered another kunoichi. There was a rumor years ago that he used to peek in the women's bathhouse with his pupil Lord Jiraiya of the Sannin. How come none of you are angry at Naruto? Sakura asked indignantly. He made us girls look bad. Exactly how ignorant and naive are you really about the world of ninja? Asked another kunoichi. I don't know what Iruka is teaching you girls, but the real life of the ninja isn't fun and games. Cunning, planning, and deception are among the many tools ninjas must have in their arsenals, and sometimes we must use unfavorable methods to achieve and complete our assigned missions. And there are occasions when seduction and sexual incentives are among the tools that we ninjas have to use also at our advantage. Naruto clearly demonstrated his understanding of what I'm saying when he got the males and even the Hokage to drop their guards against him. I know he's the least favored boy in this village, but today's event shows that he holds promises. I'm more disturbed by the fact that Naruto can play the role of a slut so convincingly that all the guys can fall for him, Sakura remarked. Would that happen to include Sasuke, seeing that even he was caught off guard by Naruto's jutsu? The same kunoichi asked, pointing to Sasuke. Sakura and the girls turned and saw what the kunoichi was talking about. Looks like Naruto knows more about what kind of girl appeals to Sasuke than any of you girls do, the kunoichi joked as the other kunoichis laughed at the younger girls' expense, seeing that all of them continuously failed to get Sasuke to notice them. The girls, minus Hinata, didn't take too kindly to the implications of the kunoichi's words, as they wondered what about themselves they were lacking in terms of feminine appeal. After another minute, the males gradually woke from their induced slumber. When they all did, they found that the females gave them all dirty looks. You're all dead and disgraced, Ino barked. I can't believe all of you fell for Naruto's perverted jutsu, Sakura added indignantly. Hey, Naruto replied with a large grin, it got the job done. So what do you think, old man? Ready to hand over that Hokage hat to me, seeing that I took you and all of the male ninjas out with a single blow? If all of you take a moment to feel the cuts I put on your necks, it shows that if I were serious, you all be dead now. Hiruzen felt his pride deeply wounded from Naruto's latest stunt and remark. He knew that he and along with all the others was going to be the laughing stock of the entire village for who knew how long. Looking for a way to save face, Hiruzen said, there's a lot more to being Hokage than just performing the strongest or the most effective jutsus to take out your enemies, Naruto. And it's not about getting your way all the time just because you possess governing power. As the Hokage, I serve the village, not the other way around. What do you mean? Naruto asked curiously. As the Hokage, Hiruzen elaborated, you must love, nurture, and protect the village and everyone living in it, young and old. And most importantly, you must be ready to lay down your life for the village at a moment's notice. But isn't that what all of us ninjas are supposed to do in the first place, old man? Naruto asked. Hiruzen nodded. Yes, Naruto, that much is true. But as the Hokage, I have to take on weighty responsibilities that affect the lives of everyone living in the village. The ninjas and civilians of the village rely on the Hokage not only for leadership but guidance in preserving the morale and stability of our society while developing future adults like yourselves who will be the next generation to step up in preserving and protecting Konoha and the foundation it was built on. Naruto took a moment to take in everything Hiruzen was telling him. Though the others were listening also, Naruto felt that Hokage was talking more to him than the others. If I learned to do all that, Naruto asked, would you step down as Hokage and let me take your place as your successor? Only time will tell, Naruto, Hiruzen said with a smile, but you still have a long way to go in your maturity and development. Just you wait, Naruto grinned, I'll prove to be the best choice as the future Hokage. We'll see, Hiruzen said as he turned to everyone else. Everyone here did well today, and I'm happy to see all of the excellent progress you all have made. I hope all of you continue in your advancements and become the new leaves that will blossom and radiantly flare with the will of fire of our village. After the Hokage's concluding words, Iruka directed the students back into the building. As the Hokage was watching the youths go back into the building, he noticed how the kunoichis were whispering and snickering about how he managed to narrowly escape looking bad in front of the young female students after the stunt Naruto pulled. It'll be a while before I hear the end of this, Hiruzen sighed with dismay. Later that day, everyone was going home for the day. About their day at the academy was over. None of the girls really said anything about what Naruto did and how even Sasuke had succumbed to Naruto's trap. The guys grumbled at how Naruto made them look bad while Shikamaru really didn't care more or less. Sasuke, a feminine voice called out him. Sasuke turned to see Sakura approaching him. What do you want? Sasuke asked. Catching up to him, Sakura said, don't feel bad about what Naruto did. You still did very good out there. I don't need your concern, Sasuke said emotionlessly. I'm fine. That's good to hear, Sakura said. I'm happy to see that Naruto's childish prank for a jutsu didn't get your spirits down. I lost to Naruto twice today, Sasuke said, and the second time he showed that he had the chance not only to kill me but all of the other ninjas there. I see nothing childish about that. Sakura flinched at Sasuke's words. Indeed, he was correct. Leave me alone, Sakura, Sasuke said coldly as he walked off. I have much to think about. Sakura watched as Sasuke left without so much as giving her a glance. Hey Sakura, Naruto called out as he ran over to the pink-haired girl. You busy? I was hoping that. Naruto was cut off when Sakura turned and tried to punch him in the head. Naruto ducked at the last second and backed away from her. Hey, Naruto asked defensively, what did I do? What did you do? Sakura barked, you made Sasuke look bad and messed up my chance to talk to him. I don't see how that's my fault, Naruto replied. Sasuke's failures is his own fault. You can't blame me that I managed to draw blood from him twice. And I wasn't going to let him look good while everyone else was expecting me to look stupid and be laughed at. Whatever, Sakura retorted, still, you have a long way to go before you can begin dreaming of measuring up to Sasuke. I don't see what's there to measure up to after seeing how low Sasuke fell for me as the hot girl I turned into, Naruto mocked. Maybe he's also seething at the very fact that I'm not actually that girl he passed out for. But on the plus side of things, I personally confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that Sasuke isn't gay. To be honest, I was starting to wonder seeing that he has never given any of you girls so much as a look. Sakura felt her feminine pride deeply wounded from Naruto's stinging comments. It wasn't long before Naruto felt bloodlust building up within Sakura. Naruto, Sakura roared as she chased after Naruto, who was now on the run from a raging Sakura. You're dead. Once outside, Naruto turned to the left and ran around the corner with Sakura in hot pursuit. Get back here, Naruto! Sakura yelled as she continued running after him and out of the academy grounds. Going back to the academy's training ground after evading Sakura, Naruto returned back to the human-shaped wooden post he embedded the kunai in. After seeing that no one was around, Naruto, summoning chakra and the required strength and speed, performed a swing kick at the post, effectively breaking the post in half with splinter shards flying all over the place, with the main chunk of the post flying far from where it originally was until it hit the ground. Naruto relaxed with a large smile on his face. That got the pent-up anger out of my system. Now for some well-deserved ramen. Naruto hurried out of the training ground and over to Ichiraku. While on the way, he pulled out his orange book and resumed where he left off at. A blush and perverted giggle escaped his mouth while reading his book and making his way to his next destination. Unknown to Naruto was that a female figure was watching him from the shadows behind the trees the entire time and was shocked by the display of power and strength Naruto demonstrated, including when he eluded and tricked Sakura. Naruto Hinata wondered to herself, you're stronger and smarter than you let on. Why do you hide your real self from everyone? Could I ever be as strong as you? Hinata wondered this as she watched Naruto happily make his out to his next destination. What if Naruto has implanted sharingan in chunin exams? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoyed this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.